He's an action figure poser, which means posing action figures is his specialty. SeanSolo8 and it's Vern from OakhurstStudios, who is a master at complaining about pretty much everything. And together, they are the Toy Duo. Hey, welcome to the show, everybody. It is the Toy Duo, and we got some guests on today. We got Ways of the Sith. You can get them at youtube.com/@Ways of the Sith. And our guest today is Dino from Geekstrong YouTube. And I was looking up your thing. It's youtube.com/@Geekstrong1.
Yeah, I have no idea, man. What's going on?
How does that make you feel that you had to put the little number? Yeah.
Somebody else has it. If you type in the word Geekstrong for YouTube, and you don't, I think if you don't put a separation in between the words, it's another guy that does like photo shoots at like Disney parks and stuff like that with girls.
Really?
I don't know. I kind of might want to change my whole thing because they
just follow him.
Sounds like a good gig.
Anyways, this is the Toy Duo, where every week we talk about the week's reveals. We talk about all kinds of stuff related to Star Wars, Marvel, G.I. Joe, Action Force, all kinds of the fun stuff, collecting in general, action figures, just anything we can think of. And maybe, you know, we may have a cooking segment on here one time. Who knows? We'll see how that goes. I'll teach you how to throw a frozen pizza in the oven. If you're interested, I got memberships on my channel. There's custom badges and emojis. I got some community posts. There are some videos that are only for members, and then you know, we've done some other stuff related to that.
I do it just for the Hulk badge.
Yeah, just the Hulk badge. I made some more too. I made a few more to go past the 12 months. Yeah.
Nice.
If you're in the chat, you are the main reason that we're doing this, is just so people can be entertained. So if we're not entertaining you, please comment, tell us you're not entertaining us, and then let us know what we need to do that.
Don't tell Connor that. You know he's gonna. You know Connor's gonna. I said, don't tell Connor that.
He is. I'm sure he is. So you know we do our reveals. We got a hot or not segment. If you are a member of the channel, you got some special emojis. They don't show up for some reason on StreamYard. So when I put it up on the screen, it just looks like quote hot. But if you're on YouTube and you're watching, it'll be a little emoji that'll say like hot, cold, not, I think, or whatever, and it looks like ice. And then there's like a lava one. I don't know. Anyways, but participation is always encouraged. So please talk to us, ask questions. And let's just say hi to some folks in the chat. Left Coast Graphics is here. He said, Vern pulled a Dino. Yes, because on my community post, I put a picture of a broken action figure. And to segue right into that, I'd like to introduce Dino again and just let you know what we're talking about.
Rub it in.
Do new toys and bodybuilding go together? Nope. I mean, people tell me I'm rough with my figures. So, Dino, you started your channel, and originally it was going to be like bodybuilding and toy hunting. And for a while, you even like would go to like a Target and like do push-ups and stuff like that. And like you would like run up and down the aisle and stuff like that. Did you like stop doing the push-ups because you would get up and go, my hands feel so filthy?
Filthy, right? No, I actually got security actually saw me doing that and chased me around the store. It was kind of like an episode of Benny Hill.
Was there music playing and it was a slightly fast motion?
Yeah.
The little chase. That's hilarious. Okay, let's see. Left Coast says, I got a copyright notice for Attack of the Clones for 3 seconds, but it said I was okay and I did not need to do anything.
Yeah, I get that too. I get that copyright claims, they call them.
Yeah,
claims of
you probably get them all the time because you use like clips and music and all kinds of stuff. And,
I can tell you behind the scenes after I'll tell you how you can get away with it.
You keep reposting all my videos and stuff like that.
There's a trick that you can do that you can put clips in, and some music, and you don't get any copyright claims or anything.
Really? That's a very interesting. Okay, I'm gonna let you explain it.
Yeah,
Connor
sure.
saying, man, the myth, the legend, Dean, the geek strong machine. I don't know though, because you haven't been doing those push-ups. You barely getting back to the gym. I think you got like some chicken wings going on, right? Like
I do. I can actually explain to you why I stopped doing fitness on my channel as much, but you can still introduce everybody and say hi. We'll talk about that later.
Let's see. Gerard Kane's here. Hello.
Hey, Gerard.
Hey, Gerard.
Miriam Gillis. Hello.
Hey, Miriam.
Hey, Miriam.
They gone.
What's up, buddy?
Saying happy Saturday to you all. Yep. Duffman's diorama. And what's going on,
man?
here?
What's up, bro?
We're just having a live stream. That's all we got going on. Let's see. I'm skipping all these like hellos. Oh, here you go. Look. Vagon had pizza rolls for lunch and salad. That was probably the toughest cook you had to do for a long time. You know, Vagon, I think you told me once that you were a cook in the service. So I'm just interested to know, did you ever serve those guys out there pizza rolls and then act like they were gourmet? Gerard Kane is pizza lovers.
Yeah. That should be the hashtag for the chat.
Yeah, pizza lovers. Had burger and chips today. And when he says chips, we all know he means French fries.
French fries. Yeah, that always confuses me.
I pre-disliked just in case.
Yeah, hit that like button twice. Make sure you hit it twice.
Let's see. Okay. Do you think Bo-Katan could beat up Dino like she did with Axe Wolves?
Oh, yeah. I'd let her, man.
See, clicking Star Wars has joined.
Hey, Steve.
Man, you know what they were calling her at Celebration? Mando Mommy. They were trying to get Mando
really?
Mommy trending.
That's pretty bad. That's pretty bad. Oh,
yeah, because Din's daddy to a lot of the women, I guess. So that's what they were trying to get trending for Bo. Mando Mommy.
Okay. But boil in the bag, finished on a grill is not bad. So he took MREs, boiled them, cut them open. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. All right, Dino, I know that you were recently on another live stream where you talked all about your childhood and growing up. And the one thing that I thought was very interesting that you said was
I did mention you, Vern.
What?
I mentioned you.
No, what? Yeah, but what I'm saying is, what I thought was really interesting is when you said you think your dad may have been a closet collector because you think he may have just been collecting through you, because you were talking about he got you all of the $6 Million Man figures. Yeah. And I thought that was very interesting because that could be completely the truth.
Right.
Right. Because we have so many pictures of when I was a kid and home video and all that kind of stuff. And I think that was, I think when I was like maybe 13 or 14, I found in like a cabinet where my dad had done all this like correspondence course for photography. So he basically became the photographer of our lives, but that was like his hobby.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
Cool.
so I could totally see like, you guys had that and you share that. That's actually really cool. That was really cool when I heard that. Thought that was really kind of neat.
Thanks, man. Yeah. It's always like I've had like lines when it came to Stretch Armstrong, $6 Million Man. It's like I look back and it's like I had like every single one of those toys, and I wonder if he was like I guess back in the in his era in the 70s, being an adult toy collector was not a thing.
You mean adults playing with toys? Out of it. Are you talking about adults playing with toys? You're talking about adults?
Calling, man. The wife's calling. Hey, I'm on the live
hold on a second. Did you put us on mute?
The what?
Okay, since he's talking about adults playing with toys, I'd like to just and here's a word from our sponsors. It's Luke and Leia, and they run around, and you can play with them unless your parents tell you you're too old to play with toys, and you ask them, well, why did you buy me these in 1977 if you don't want me playing with them still? Anyways, there's a solution. If you're all grown up and toys are not for you, here's some enamel pins from Left Coast Graphics. They remind you of those vintage figures of back in the day, and you know what? When nobody's looking, you can pull them off your jacket and go, hey, Leia, Let's go! And the ships come in these fantastic boxes that you can fold out. And here's the one for Boba Fett's infamous enamel spaceship. This is the pin. It looks fantastic. You could put it on your jacket. But like I said, when nobody's looking, you could fly those ships around. So remember, get your enamel pins with these awesome card backs and these fantastic pins that double as toys, but don't tell your parents. From Left Coast Graphics.
I like that. That was awesome. Hey, is that the brown-haired version of Luke?
Let's see, was it?
I think it was. Yeah, it didn't have blonde hair; it had brown hair.
Let me see.
He does the alternate versions too.
Yeah, it was the brown-haired one that I got.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah,
I love the card back. I know he had somebody else doing the card backs on some of them, right?
You'd have to ask him. I'm not. He's in
Rick,
the audience.
am I correct? Right? You had somebody else do the card back on that one, right?
Like
Don't quote me if I'm.
He switched it to a thumbs up from a thumbs down. He originally gave us a thumbs down.
That's the way you bribe them, by playing the commercial now.
And
He said how to get free stuff 101.
and then
I've made a commercial too. I didn't get any free stuff.
He said,
No,
neither did I. But he played it on his live yesterday, and John completely hammered me. You're flying the Slave One wrong.
Yeah, right. You got to keep it upright.
But you know what's funny is like when they did Hasbro did the tour for the booth the first day. Was that Emily that was doing the tour?
Yeah.
She gets the diorama of Jabba's palace, and she goes, and then we got these, and she starts to say Boba Fett's starship.
Starship, yeah.
And I was laughing because I was like, yeah, it's just too
Today-
ingrained.
She also
Today
said
that's a
something.
great
I can't
moment,
remember
too.
what. She also said
What?
something wrong too, and the other guy took over. It wasn't a big deal. I mean, I wouldn't point it out, but I noticed when she was saying it was something wrong within the Star Wars lore, and he took over. You
There
have
was
to
a great
rewatch
moment during the live stream where Patrick was saying something, and Eric looks over at the new girl and just rolls his eyes back. I was cracking up. I gotta make sure I go back and get the clip of it because
You got to do that before they cut it.
It was during the Indiana Jones segment. Patrick pulled out the whip and said, and like whipped the crowd. And he's like, time to crack the whip. And Eric just looks over at the new girl and just was like, fuck this.
That's so good.
Like, yeah. Oh man, it was so funny. I was cracking up when I saw that.
Oh. You got to be really careful nowadays with the stuff you say.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where like, used to get away with so much, just, but you got to really, really contain yourself a little bit.
Yeah.
I can't say stuff like I wouldn't stream over my friend's stream. That just never goes right.
Yeah.
People are just going to take that the wrong way. So I will. If you guys are ever having a stream, I am definitely streaming over your stream.
Competition's a good thing, man. That's what keeps us in check. If I don't have competition, then why become better?
Okay, so every time you load a Premiere, I'm going to load a Premiere.
I can't do Premiere. I did a 6 o'clock Premiere one time, 6 o'clock in the morning, and I slept through it. I wasn't even in it. So
that's okay.
Vern,
Waste does it all the time. Waste does it all the time.
You really?
Premieres. He's like,
Vern reminds me. He sends me a message. He's like, "Did you forget your Premiere?" And I'm like, "Oh fuck!" Like, and now I'm running around like trying to get in the chat. Hey, everybody, welcome real quick.
Yeah.
Well,
because I schedule it and I don't think about it, or I'm at work or whatever, and then like, or I'll do it the night before, like 10. I'll do it for like 10:30, 10:45, and that's usually like when I'm busy at work, and then like I completely forget about it.
It's
But
just
then
a
Vern
funny.
always reminds me.
When I make a
Funny,
video,
What?
as soon as I finish it,
Uh-huh.
I upload it to YouTube as private or unlisted. Make
Okay.
sure it doesn't get a copyright claim or a copyright strike. Usually a copyright claim. If it does, then I'll try to re-edit it. But if it's good, I'll just put it out right then and there. I don't wait like the next day or anything. I'm too excited because I will want to watch it.
You can. You could just right
No,
on
but
your
I won't-
phone where you edit it. You can watch it.
Yeah,
He
but
wants it to count.
I don't. That's the only way I get views is if I keep watching my own video.
You got to run the Vern program. Multiple computers at a Best
Yeah.
Buy.
Best Buy,
Geek
right?
Strong on YouTube and just let them play.
Might as well. I'm at Best Buy and Toys R Us. I mean, Walmart's and Targets. I'll just go and check out the computers and do it.
I admit, I do rush out a video now and again, but I always like to let them at least process into HD before I make it live. But yeah, sometimes I'll program it to go out like 2 hours after I upload it or whatever, and then I start thinking about it like, well, why am I waiting 2 hours? It's ready to go, and then not changing it. So
how do you know when it's processed to HD? Am I not processed to HD?
So no, what happens is when you upload it in YouTube Studio, and if you go to YouTube Studio like on a computer and look at it, it'll give you the little line and it'll say processing SD, it's ready to go. It'll go up, but HD always takes a little bit longer, and then it'll say give you like a potential time, but it's never as long as it claims it is.
Yeah, no, I always do the 4K. It's just it just takes a little bit longer.
JT,
am mine clear HD or am mine like not?
What do you shoot with? An iPhone?
I do a Samsung Galaxy.
Okay, so yeah, you should be fine. On the iPhone, you just have to change the setting so it goes to 4K and 60 frames per second. Otherwise, like your camera's in standard HD, but you can switch it to 4K on the iPhone.
I don't upload the video in 4K though. It's too large of a file to go on my phone.
Oh, okay. See, I always do everything on my phone and then upload it right from my phone. Like,
you guys are like phone pros. I have to use a computer because I can't see that small. I'm like,
yeah.
Well, my computer
edit everything, and then
I got to do it all on the phone.
I've been trying to figure out this new camera because it seems like because this is the iPhone 14 Pro. Just got it like a few months ago, and I know that when I get into focus, it's really good. But for some reason, it like loses its focus when I'm moving like the figure back and forth, and I can't figure out. So I just realized that I was like in action mode. So I'm going to try it out of action mode and see if that helps me. Because I know I've been doing, I was joking about that streaming over and stuff like that. I don't really care about that. I mean, personally, I think like it's awesome when people have something they want to talk about to be able to do it. And I'm not, the only person that I was ever not happy with streaming over is that Star Wars celebration thing that's going on. There was too much time this weekend, and I'm just glad that they stopped by the time like we came on.
They knew you were coming on. That's what it was. They were like,
they didn't want to go over you.
Yeah, that's what it was.
You're not competing with
I thought they were just going to keep going.
Today was good.
Watching it though?
Today had a lot of good panels. They actually showed the full Clone Wars panel. Like, that was really, really cool.
I didn't see any of it today. I saw some of it yesterday. Well, we can talk about them. Did you guys watch The Mandalorian this week?
Yeah.
Do you know?
Yeah.
Okay, so do you want to talk about The Mandalorian? I know there was
we can talk about it because something after watching Star Wars Celebration, it makes me rethink of how I feel about Star Wars. And I mean, like all the live action and animated makes me rethink of my opinions on it.
Okay,
if that makes sense.
So go ahead, talk about it.
What changed?
So
I used to like Star Wars, now I don't.
Is now I love Star Wars. I love the original Star Wars. I like the prequels, were really good. I even like the whatever you want to call the the Rey series. I never got into the Clone Wars animated. For some reason animated. I have a hard time with animation Star Wars.
It's a generational thing, apparently.
The both of you guys. Now you have to watch it. You're forced into watching Rebels, and that's what's making you like, damn. I
watched some of them. I did like the first season of the Bad Batch. The second season, I had a hard time with it. As far as I absolutely loved Andor. I thought that was probably one of my favorite.
You and Andor have kind of like a bromance going on.
We do. I thought it was great Star Wars. I thought I liked the.
You were
the
like,
drama.
I want to get in this prison.
I liked it. I liked it because there really was no Jedi, it was just ordinary people, and I like that part of it.
But you don't know if there were no Jedi.
Well, true. As far as like the Mandalorian season 1 was really good. Season 2 was mediocre. This season, I just feel that Star Wars doesn't have the same tone through it all. Andor is in a whole different level as Mandalorian. Just the feel of it, the flow of it. So me as a viewer, I have a hard time with my emotions going from drama realism to comedy, unrealism.
I can understand that, but that's something Kathleen Kennedy addressed at Celebration. She said the plan going forward, they unveiled a whole timeline basically. So we're going from Old Republic, High Republic, the Fall of the Jedi, Rise of the Empire, Rise of the First Order, and Jedi Order. Those are the time. That's the whole Star Wars timeline now. And basically, the plan is to have different tones and different directions for different shows going forward. So you're gonna have shows like Andor, where it's more drama based, and you're gonna have shows like Acolyte, where it's gonna be more action packed, full on lightsabers. You're gonna have James Mangold's movie that's very far back.
Are you talking about the latest episode of The Mandalorian that it had like some funny stuff in it?
Yeah.
So you kind of felt like it was like Thor: Love and
Out of
Thunder.
it.
You were a little bit out of it.
Yeah.
Okay, so because I kind of want to pair off that, because that's exactly why I like this week's episode is probably one of my favorite episodes of The Mandalorian, is because when I first thought that this Mandalorian series was coming out, I thought we were going to get a whole bunch of these like little episodes like today's, where he shows up, is involved in somebody's business, has to solve their problem in some way, and then there's like a resolution kind of at the end, but there's like that overarching, but they had that same type of thing where he, took the, escorted the frog with the egg. So that was kind of like one of the stories, they did do that, but I thought we were going to get more of this week's tone in that series, because I thought, one, it was fun. It was kind of quick paced for the most part. And, it didn't take itself too seriously. So I did really like and appreciate that about it.
Yeah, so that's what I didn't like about it.
Yeah, I think a lot of people didn't like it for those reasons.
For me, this episode would have been so much better had it been earlier in the season. If this was like episode 3, episode 4, I think it would have been a lot more forgiving. The fact that the momentum was totally abrupted from the previous episode that was coming off such a high, and you thought they were building to an end, they took you down. But now what I'm gonna say is these next 2 episodes, Rick Famuyiwa teased that these next 2 episodes are all out nonstop. So basically these next 2 episodes are supposed to be, like resolving this season.
I'm reading G-Force.
G-Force is going to be upset if Lizzo gets a figure. He's probably saying if Lizzo gets a figure before Paul Hyung-Sung Lee, then he's going to lose it, because where's Carson Teva's figure? Why didn't that get announced today?
Yeah, that should have been announced. My guess is that'll probably be the PulseCon exclusive this year. That would be my assumption, because Filoni, Favreau, Carson Teva would be perfect third one.
This is where people, I think, are upset. I think your upsettedness is like, I want to say it's misplaced, because I've been hearing a lot of things about like Jack Black, Lizzo, and Christopher Lloyd, and I feel like people felt like they were misused or miscast, and they felt like, oh, I got taken out, but that's not the thing. I mean, like, celebrity cameos in Star Wars have been a thing, but for the most part, they've hidden them behind the mask of a stormtrooper.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So to put them in a faced character, I think is perfect for this Disney Plus series. Because one, what they're doing is, I see what they're doing is, not only are they trying to get to you and everyone in the chat and me, but they're also trying to get that younger audience on board, which I think The Mandalorian was designed for, with Grogu and stuff like that, right? They're trying to attract that younger audience, because everybody heard Lizzo was going to be in Star Wars.
Yeah, it's also I didn't know. It served a purpose though, because
Yeah.
So like as much as I didn't care for the episode and like where it was, it served its overall purpose of now the Mandalorians have something different that they never had before. Before they were an independent system with no allies. They didn't join the Republic. They weren't allied with any other planets. Now they have a planet that's going to go to the Senate and the New Republic and fight for their independent to be recognized. And now they'll have an ally. Grogu's a knight to that place. We'll probably see something take place either later on, maybe even in the Rey movie, with that, that other planet and their civilization. So I think it served its purpose. Like I said, it just would have been, it totally cut the momentum off from the previous episode. But
I don't think
it did because you didn't answer any questions about Moff Gideon. We have two episodes left. That's where my biggest gripe came from. It didn't have anything to do with like.
I didn't think it had a purpose.
It did have a purpose. The whole purpose of that episode was to give Bo-Katan back everything that she was intending to do. 1, reclaim Mandalore. 2, wield the Darksaber and reclaim her status as the leader of the thing. So they had to figure a way to do that.
But that had nothing to do with that whole planet. Yeah, everything was at the end when she met her.
Yeah, you had to go to that planet because that's where those Mandalorian mercenaries were.
But I would have liked to spend that time with the Mandalorian mercenaries instead of wasting it on all of the Law and Order episode that we got. Like,
I thought the whole episode, because I mean, if they would have went directly to the Mandalorian mercenaries, then you get out of the premise of what I expected the series to be in the first place, was to be this kind of like weekly.
The series is past that though. That's what I'm saying. Like right now, what they're doing in this season, the series isn't for that episodic. It's built up to what's coming with Moff Gideon and taking back Mandalore. Like that's the whole story for this season.
Yeah, but that's why I felt like
it's about Bo. That's the problem.
That's why I felt like this episode got back to what their original intent was.
But the next week is going to be totally different.
that bridged like a longer storyline. I get
what you're saying. Those episodes work 100%, especially earlier in the season, because that's the formula that we're used to for season 1 and season 2, where it's these little episodic things that build up to the big thing at the end. And this season,
no. I don't see that as the idea or premise behind that type of a plot point. That plot buildup isn't like each individual episode should stand on its own as a, hey, I arrived, I'm helping you with your issue and I'm moving on. But there's this sub story where it builds on this like a bigger gap, like you get to somewhere, but not necessarily everything that they do in that episode should have to tie into that larger string.
But with the story that they're telling and how many loose ends that they've left this season so far, I don't
want it to resolve like at the end of the season. I want there to be another season.
But there is, and now we know that there's going to be a movie too. That's the problem. Yeah. They already have an endpoint of where they're going with this. So
they have an endpoint for the current storyline, but it doesn't necessarily mean an endpoint to the Mandalorian.
But they're going to be building to now this endpoint of whatever Filoni's cooking up, whether it's the Grisk War or it's the Battle of Jakku. So like that's kind of what he's building up to now. That's what they're doing with all the shows. So like now all these shows that are going to be that they have to all tie in together, unfortunately. So I think that's where a lot of the the expectations.
Who's agreeing with Vern? Because I'm subscribing to you guys.
I do like those earlier seasons and those earlier episodes, but ultimately this season had a totally different tone. So now,
and that's why I wasn't 100% in on it until they got to the point where like,
and this season relies on you watching Rebels. Like that's what this season relies on you doing. You have to watch Rebels in order to get.
I'm not watching any of that. Yeah. But I guarantee you that I'll be fine with it.
Yeah, you'll get the basis of it, but there's going to be a lot of stuff that you're going to miss.
They're going to introduce those characters or whatever in live, and I'm not going to need to go back and watch any of those episodes. I haven't gone back to figure out who Ahsoka Tano was or anything like that. Haven't done any of that. So I'm just accepting who that character is. I'm not,
just off the basis of how you saw her in Mandalorian. That's it.
Yeah, and that there's some sort of a back history, because I'm sure they're gonna tell that in the live action, so I
Yes.
don't need to go back for that. You know what I mean?
You're-
When those characters get revealed, I'm gonna know who they are. I'm gonna end up getting to know them, and maybe it's gonna want me to, but it's not gonna make me do it.
But if you want to understand fully the story and what's going on, you're gonna have to.
But I have to say, like, this episode was so fun to watch for me, because this running around a city, them going into the robot bar, that whole thing where all the robots like quiet down and stuff like that. And then that whole thing with the Ugnaughts. I mean, this entire like story to me,
That was
and
the best part of the episode for me.
was
Ugnaughts.
so
Yeah,
fun
maybe
to watch. Like, anybody could have watched it. That's why I liked it so much.
See, I don't see like droids having a bar to go to.
Well, they're drinking motor oil.
I don't see that a thing.
Yeah, they made Grogu at night.
I didn't like it. I told you that. I wasn't the biggest fan of this episode. I understand why they did what they did. Yeah. But like I said, that was basically what that whole story served a purpose for, was just to basically allow Mandalore to be recognized as an independent system in the New Republic.
No, it was also so we can see that there's something else going on, that you reintroduce possibly some separatists, and you get the idea that, okay, so here's the bigger story that I'm looking at, right? We already see that the New Republic is kind of like shady in the way that they're like reprogramming people. So they weren't like perfect. So are we gonna find out that maybe Dooku was the visionary, and the separatists really were the ones really wanting democracy?
Well, if you watch Clone Wars, you would know that.
I don't need to watch that.
But that's all in Clone Wars. That's what I'm saying. That's all stuff that's in Clone Wars.
But the thing is, it's like, so Christopher Lloyd's character, he's trying to like, he ends up being like the hero of this entire story, and he gets taken out too early before he can like, But
it's so like from that viewpoint, yeah, the separatists were always right, because they were the ones who really wanted freedom. They got played by both sides, and then still got played by both sides. And that's what you see in Clone Wars. You see Padme learn it for firsthand, that she's like looking down at these people for being separatists, and then she learns that like, oh shit, the separatists are actually the ones really fighting for freedom. They were just miscast, because Dooku did have a vision in mind, and as much as they showed like he got played by Palpatine just like a fiddle, and he used them, and you saw that in Tales of the Jedi, you saw that in Clone Wars, and then you only got the bits and pieces from the live action movie. So that's what I'm saying. There's a lot of people that like hate the animated shows, but there's so much good stuff and lore that are in the animated shows. Even the fate of Maul, like you have to watch the animated shows to know what happens to Darth Maul.
I see. That's the thing, is I don't know if I have to watch that to figure out what happens, because I think I'm going to be told by not watching any of the animated shows.
Yeah, but you won't be able to get your opinions across if somebody gives you just one snippet of it. Like right now,
like you're only getting
all these episodes, and we have our own opinion.
I guess to me, this episode was not The Last Jedi, right? So I don't know why it's so divided.
It's because of that momentum and the pacing of it, and then the fact that like
I don't think
it was though, and then the whole thing about Bo.
It's because you had a whole episode where it didn't answer the question you wanted that you had in your head.
But after only having 8 episodes of a season, and so far we've gotten a bunch of episodes that are almost a half an hour long when they have an hour time slot. That's the problem.
Right. And then they finally come out with like a good timed episode that was super enjoyable to watch.
And it was just in the wrong place. It was just in the wrong place.
I honestly don't feel Star Wars should have that much like lighthearted comedy in that long of a period. It should just be snippets, like just quotes or something. Like Han Solo and 3PO were kind of the comedy part of it, and it was light. It wasn't like thrown at you so heavy. I feel like that episode was just too much, and especially like I don't know, did everyone, when I saw that droid running, it took me out of it because it was too human run. It wasn't droid.
I wondered how it cut that corner really sharply, like with metal feet on a metal floor, and didn't like slide,
see,
right? because I had seen
me
these
and my
other
buddy
robots
watching it. We were just looking at each other, like shaking our heads, like, what are they doing?
He
It was
probably
just
has some rubber on the bottom of those feet to give them traction.
yeah.
But what I
Those
got out of
little,
that, like when I saw
like
that
those socks.
scene,
It was wearing those socks with the rubber bottom so you don't slip on hardwood.
when I saw that scene and the battle droid, I started thinking like, oh, there's Starbuck and a Cylon. That's all I was thinking was like, oh, Starbuck and a Cylon. But I thought it was pretty good. I mean, like, I don't know.
What hurts
like
me
I
a
said,
little bit though,
it's not a
what hurts
horrible
me a little bit
episode.
is
It's the time and place.
So
what hurts me a little bit. Hey, can I speak? I am a guest here, aren't I? So what hurts me a little bit is, say I'm Jack Black, say I'm Lizzo, call up my family, hey, I'm on Star Wars, check this out. And then they get the episode, hey, I did fantastic, how was it? And then they hear about like how many people dislike the episode. So Jack Black, Lizzo, if you're watching, I enjoyed your performance. You guys did a great job. But as far as in a Star Wars universe, it just took me out of it a little bit. I still enjoy it. I love you guys. I think everyone that's working on Star Wars is doing an amazing job. It just, my opinion, just took me out of it a little bit. So I'm not going to dislike Star Wars. So
that whole thing, that whole sequence of the king and the queen or whatever with them just reminded me so much of Thor: Love and Thunder, right? Like that's where I kind of went. I hated it in Thor, but I loved it here. I don't know why.
See, I didn't.
If
I never see Jack Black in Star Wars again, I'll be happy.
Well, see, okay, so you have a personal issue with Jack Black, I think.
With both of them, I never want to see either one of them in Star Wars.
Yeah,
again.
and I think they're great. They're hilarious.
I think they're great too. But as far as a Star Wars character in a speaking role, no, maybe in a background character as a creature, that's fine. Keep him in there. I think it's too distracting. As soon as I saw Jack Black, and I didn't really, I know Lizzo a little bit. I'm not like into that more modern music. I'm more of a 70s, 80s guy. But as when I saw them, it took me out of it that I couldn't even focus on what was happening. You know what I mean? It was just in my mind was just like, oh my goodness, Jack Black is in an episode of Star Wars. So the next 10 minutes, it was like a blur. I might have to rewatch it.
You will. It should. I think you should watch it 4 or 5. I've actually, this is the one episode I've probably seen more than 4 times already.
The only time I rewatch an episode
didn't make me feel that way at all. Like I liked Christopher Lloyd in the episode. I just wish he had some sort of connection to the overall plot of the story instead of just being a throwaway character.
Well, I heard that in the next episode, his alter identity is going back in time, and he's going to be working behind the scenes.
I think there's too many one-liners too that are kind of like when Mando says to Bo-Katan, "You had me at battle droids."
Yeah,
you know,
but that was personal to him. He got his whole family got killed by battle droids. That's why.
No, I understand that, but just the way he said it was like, "You had me at hello." You know what I mean? It was taking from another movie and just putting it in there. It kind of like.
Okay, like every other catchphrase or one-liner that's used.
Yeah, it just that so.
Yeah, I had that picture. I put a picture on my community. I put it up everywhere, right? Where it's like Christopher Lloyd's and being arrested. I would have got away with it too.
Yeah,
for you.
So now, what do you guys think about the end with Bo actually being the one to possess the saber? Now, do you think she keeps it?
I thought that
was the ruling and the way they curtailed the rules for it works for the story.
I don't think that they curtailed the rules for it. I think that they purposely wrote that Mando getting captured early on and her saving him specifically for that. So I think that was, of course that was planned out as the way to get the Darksaber to her without them actually having to battle each other, which because I think it's like a stalemate, right? Do you really want those two to have to battle and then show you who is more powerful?
No, but you could have got around it a different way. You could have had Mando fight and lose it, and Bo get it during the process. Moff Gideon, or whoever they're going to fight, because they're going to be fighting people before the season's over.
Like, so in the same battle, he loses it and she gains it from him.
Or you might You might even see that reversed by the end of the season where she loses it and he gets it to win. Like I think that is a very big possibility too. Or Boba or whoever.
So,
They can
so
change
should
that.
so should Mando have just opened up the darksaber and said, "Well, you will all follow me then because I possess the darksaber"?
I thought he was gonna kind of work it where like, well, she is in possession of the dark saber. I serve her, so she's got the dark saber. I thought like that's where he was gonna go with it, where like by loophole, I'm in possession of it. I'm loyal to her. She's got the dark saber. You follow her. But I mean, if they're going by the logic that they're going by, it the saber don't belong to any of them. The saber still belongs to Ahsoka because she beat Maul. So I mean, if that's the loophole, then Ahsoka is the rightful ruler of the darksaber. Still,
Well, no. Well, we'll see how that plays out.
I thought Bo-Katan was going to get it, no matter what. This series is all about Bo-Katan. It's not about Mando. It's not about Grogu. It's not about anything but Bo-Katan.
my only complaint with the Bo-Katan thing, and I'm interested to see how it all plays out because we've watched this twice. So like in Rebels, she did the same thing. In Clone Wars, she did the same thing. So we've seen her go through this whole process twice now, and now this is the third time. The first time that all the Mandalorians are united together to make it happen. Before there was all kinds of infighting between the different clans, so it was never like successful. Half was with the Empire or Maul, and they never could agree on like a common thing. So this is the first time that all of them are going to come together to take Black Mandalore against a common threat of Moff Gideon and those ties and all the things that we saw earlier in the season. I think that's all going to play back in for these last two episodes. But it's all going to be who ends up with it at the very end. Like Mando could get it back for all we know, or she could gift it to him on his way. Because I have a feeling like after this season, like Vern said, Mando will be moving on his way to do whatever now going forward, whether he joins Ahsoka or, you know, whatever the next step for him and Grogu is. Because if they take Mandalore back, he's not just going to be like Bo's boyfriend on Mandalore. Like that's not a show. You know what I mean? Like you're going to have to progress him now somewhere else and onto a new journey or onto a new path. And with them showing the Purgils in the first episode, Zeb in the 2 episodes ago with Carson Tava, and you know what they showed with Ahsoka, it's very, very possible that the Ahsoka season doesn't even show them leaving to go get Ezra, and that literally the Ahsoka season just focuses on Ahsoka, and then whatever is after that.
And then what are you going to have to say about it? Because you're putting all your eggs in that. That's what's going to happen, right?
But that's what's happening.
And they're all going to be horrible.
They're all going though towards the movie, so you have to connect them at some point. It's a logical explanation of where you're going to go, because if not, you just have Din on Mandalore. Unless they just on Mandalore, Bo's boyfriend.
They build all those bridges, and the connection doesn't get made until the movie.
That's going to be a stretch.
I think Bo-Katan's all on board with being a Mandalorian and all that ever since she saw the Mythosaur.
Yeah, but she only saw it because of him. That's the problem with the whole logic of it all. Like
because of him,
he got pulled down by it, and she saw it to rescue him. Like it didn't.
Do you think he got pulled down by it?
They said he fell, so I don't know. Like he said, the floor fell out from underneath him. That's what Din says. Like when he wakes up.
I don't think he got pulled down by it. I think it was just there.
Yeah, if you watch it, it looks like he gets like yanked down, but then when he wakes up, all he says,
I don't, because I think if it was just like a slip, if it was a slip, his other foot was still on footing. So I do want to say that if you guys are like in the chat, you see Duffman's came up with that big green banner. He's been a head swapper for 4 months. So I want to thank him for that. And then I also want to say thanks to Connor from Fuller's Figures for the super chat. I really appreciate it.
Son of a bitch.
And he says a very special message to the ways of the Sith. Nothing beats Andor.
Yeah.
I think Andor is my favorite Star Wars.
Leave that up there for a while.
I'm praying that they don't mess it up.
It looks like so the confirmation yesterday by Tony Gilroy and Diego Luna. I watched the whole panel. Yes, I did watch the whole panel.
I watched it.
They were talking about the pacing and the structure. So now going into the next season, each 3 episodes are going to span a full year, And as we go each 3 episodes, we'll be 1 year closer to Rogue One. At the very end of the show, we're literally going to walk right into the beginning of the Rogue One movie. So it should be that looks better. Like now we're going to be moving along instead of just stationary in one place for so long. Hopefully, the season 2 is a lot better.
Yeah,
I think they should have a meter like before the
season 1 was great. I don't know what you mean by a lot better. I mean, I think probably be better, but it was fantastic.
They should have a meter.
So like I've said multiple times, I love the writing.
I'm out of here. Bye, guys.
I was able to make like some really cool short videos from the Andor series. I got that one showing you that you could get those chairs off of Amazon, the ones at the beach.
Yeah, the writing, the direction, the scenery, all of that was fantastic. The pacing for me was what took me out of it.
Dina really loved the prison scenes. I was kind of hoping he'd be in there.
It reminded me of the good old days in prison.
The only thing they didn't have was the pump and iron in the yard, right? They weren't allowed to go pump iron in the yard.
As I was saying before, I was rudely interrupted. But I think each series or each episode should have a meter as far as like intense, lighthearted. This series is going to be, you know what I mean? So when
like
you
there
go
should be like a little thing, a bubble at the beginning of the episode. This episode is 5 on the fun scale, but 1 on the lore scale.
Yeah. Or like I think like it's more realistic on Andor. It feels more like, you know.
Would you guys be in for like a Star Wars comedy?
Yeah.
How about a musical?
This one's more like a Three's Company's episode right here. You think I was expecting to see the fawns jump the shark at the end of this, waving to everyone saying,
"You use that same jumping the shark thing every single week." Like, oh, they jumped the shark this week. They jumped the shark this. You can only jump the shark once.
That's all I've got. I have nothing else, dude. I have nothing else to offer.
Have faith that the next 2 episodes kind of resolve this season and we move forward and see where we're going from here.
Well, I'm okay with Bo-Katan having the Darksaber because I always felt like Din Djarin was more going to be like the Sir Lancelot or the guy who always goes on the quests for the leader, right? That's what I see his role. But now I'm wondering if that's more going to be Paz Vizsla, and like Mando will be kind of like a third tier kind of knight of the Round Table or whatever.
I think they have to give him some sort of new weapon now, though, if he doesn't have the saber going forward. You know what I mean? Like, because he lost everything else: the ship, the spear, the gun.
Well, like, I mean, he's got the gun shouldn't be that hard to get. Should he go back to a spear with that little tuning fork on the end?
He was good with the spear, though. Yeah. The Beskar spear, and then he melted it down to give Grogu his chainmail.
Yeah, that's true.
And now Grogu's got the frisbee on his chest, so like he doesn't really need the chainmail.
Well, what is that little disc anyways? You think that's going to just be like a shield?
You and me were talking about it. I think it's supposed to be his shoulder armor when he gets bigger, because like she tells him you'll grow into this, but it's not round enough to like cover his whole entire chest. So like I'm guessing because it's got the Mythosaur logo on it that it's supposed to be his shoulder pad to match Din's at some point. You know what I mean? Like I think that's why it's like shaped the way it is. So then when he gets older, he can move it over onto his shoulder.
Oh my gosh!
It's definitely going to come into play. It's definitely going to come into play the next two episodes. I'm sure.
Moff Gideon will try to kill him this time because now he doesn't even want the baby. He wants revenge. It's a totally different Moff Gideon we're seeing, as we've seen in the season. All these things have been Moff Gideon all along. The TIE fighters, Cassandra Cain, or not Cassandra Cain, Elia Kane doing what she did to Dr. Pershing and taking him out off the board. So like it's all coming together.
They're gonna shoot Grogu. He's gonna fall to the ground. Everyone's gonna be all sad. They're gonna go up to him. He's gonna have his eyes closed. It'll be a couple minutes, a moment of people crying. Then all of a sudden, his eyes will open up, and he'll be able to say something crazy. Maybe his first words, and then you'll see the little dent in the shield.
Could be. But I'm hoping in that last episode that what happens is we find out that there's a Sith Lord that's been running around, and it's Jack Black.
Ooh. then I'm on. I'm on board at that.
Look at ways. I just said it so he can put his head down.
Somebody made a comment. They hope that Bob Goldthwait makes an appearance in Star Wars. Didn't he just pass away?
Who?
Bob Goldthwait?
Who was that?
Is it?
Yeah,
Is it Bob Goldthwait from Police Academy? The comedian that had that raspy, crazy that voice. Remember him?
Bobcat.
Yeah, Bobcat. Yeah.
Oh, he died a long time ago.
Yeah, I thought. Well, someone says they
Did
hope
the
he makes an
newspaper just
appearance.
get delivered?
Yeah, like he died a long time ago.
Was it? Did he die a long time ago?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ernie, the African American gentleman from the show is already in Star Wars. He's been doing stuff in Bad Batch, voices in Bad Batch.
Oh, the from Police Academy,
Mm-hmm.
the guy that does all the sound effects.
Yeah, and Ghostbusters too. Yep.
Cool.
Right.
So, Vern, you want to show some of the reveals?
Sure. Let's do that. Let's say hello to. I think Gilster came in. Blacked Out Ewoks came in.
Yeah.
Do we say hello to Gap? I think we started talking about G-Force because he was telling us that some of our opinions mattered, not all of them. He came in. Captain Spaulding, Blue Sasquatch. If I'm missing anybody, I'm sorry.
Am I on mute?
Earlier. Yeah, I can't hear a thing you're saying.
Let me check.
Left Coast. He is 60. All right. What are you drinking there?
Bobcat's not dead. Left Coast said Bobcat is not dead.
He's not dead? I thought he died a long time ago.
I think he just died. I think he just died like a week or two ago.
This is the issue. There is a definite disconnect between our generation and the millennial generation.
Yeah, and I just remember him from like mad long ago, like when I was a kid.
Let's see. Show us 10 vision. Yeah. Okay.
I
there
want
are
them all, man. Give me. See, I'm
Well,
not sure if I want to get
the
the
toys.
6-inch.
Are we going to talk about the movies and the stuff that was revealed for Celebration, or is that in the slide?
See, I want to know
no,
why did I not get an animated face there?
Let's do these reveals and then we'll talk about the
How come the
movie.
thumbnail? You got to redo that thumbnail. I want a drawing of me. That was in my contract.
Do you see
Dean,
do you see the lines on the face?
I do. It makes me look like the new guy from the Ahsoka series.
Do those
Doesn't
look like
it? The guy
two
with the
chicken
dark
wings
saber?
too? Do they look like two chicken wings on there?
Yeah, that's yeah. Look at those things. I love it.
I just want to point out that I am wearing a Star Wars shirt today for Star Wars Celebration, and also to celebrate a Star Wars Celebration. Dino is wearing a Star Wars shirt and a Star Wars hat, and Ways of the Sis has put on his Batman hat. And
Nike. I have a Star Wars shirt on underneath.
Nice.
I'm just messing with you. Come on.
I have my Grogu underwear on. Should we show those?
That's a super chat. That's a super chat, Dino.
Yeah, super chat. So Connor, you get this. This is your super chat.
I did put this tag up for Secret Invasion because when I was making the thumbnail earlier in the week, they had released the trailer for Secret Invasion.
I had to watch it when I saw your thumbnail.
A lot more stuff.
I am looking forward to that. I mean, especially since I heard that Iron Fist was going to be in it.
I heard Jack Black's going to make an appearance too.
Yeah,
Him
and Iron Fist are working together.
I forgot that it was even a TV show. I thought it was a movie. And then when I saw it's a Disney Plus series, I was like, oh, my bad. I thought it was a movie.
All right, so here we're going to go through the reveals of the week. Don't forget, hot or not. So let's make sure everybody gets their choices out, and then you guys can decide whether or not you also think that these figures are worthy of adding to your collection or not. The first one I got is a McFarlane. This is the Catwoman, I guess. And then there's a Chase version. Anybody?
No, but it looks good. I like the gray version better.
It reminds me of the old figure that came out back in the 90s.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, McFarlane's been doing some pretty good, getting different characters out, different looks for the characters instead of just rehashing like the same 10 that they've put out. The thing is, I'm just not into that 7-inch scale, so they're not for me. But
Yeah,
I already
that's
see
out of
some
it.
knots in the audience. So
I collect the 66 Batman. I don't really do this, but I do want to get the Dark Knight figures that are out.
I got them on the shelf back here. They
Did
came
you
out
get
really
them?
well. Yeah.
I saw my
They're-
GameStop. I was gonna get them
they're
all,
the-
but
They're
Nope.
the first McFarlanes that I've ever purchased. But
they look good.
They're the only ones. And then I got the Keaton and the Batmobile coming. But after that, I'm back out of McFarlane. That's all I need.
I'll get the movie line. I think I'll get the movie line if I can get like a good deal.
Yeah.
Like I think today is the last day for Target has a what is it? I think it's $25 off of a $100 purchase.
Yes.
Yeah.
So if I could, if I'm lucky enough after this, I'm gonna run to Target, see if I can find another deal, because I did some indies. I got the animated Dungeons and Dragons figures, so I bundled everything together and spent a little bit over 100. So I got $75 off. 25 off of that.
Nice. Yeah, and then they got the 10 off if you spend 50.
Yeah.
That wasn't on my app, but I did see that on in store. When does that go up? When does that end? Do you know?
As far as I know, on tomorrow usually, because that's usually when the circle stuff like resets.
I think it's going to be today is the last day, because I think yesterday it said one more day.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Usually all their circle rewards like reset on Sunday, so that's usually the day.
Want to say hi to somebody that else popped in. I know I can't work chat, but BOE's here. Hey, BOE.
We said hi to BOE.
Did you?
Yeah. But that's really nice. All right, this is the Flash. I think this goes along. There's a lot of knots popping up for that. You guys were talking, so there were a lot of knots coming up as soon as I put the picture up. But anyways, this is the Hot Toy Super Sick Marvel Avengers 13-inch Mech Strike Black Panther.
No.
Anybody into these?
No.
I'm not into it, but it looks like crazy looking, like Black Panther all armored.
Yeah.
What does it turn into, an apple?
Kind of interesting. I'm not into them at all, but
why does it turn into an apple?
What?
Why does it turn into an apple?
I think that's just to show you the scale. Like if you get a really small 2-inch apple, that's about how big the figure would be next to it. No, this is like a 13-inch figure. That's why it's like a.
I've never seen anything compared to an apple before. Maybe an orange, but not an apple.
There is a first time for everything. How about these? I think these are a little bit too late, in my opinion. I think that.
Yeah, definitely.
I think this is just a way to resell like something. Maybe they repainted them or whatever.
Yeah.
Are those large? They look like little small figurines.
Yeah.
Because I don't see an apple. So if they put an apple next to it, I would know the size. But there's no apple there. So to me, they look tiny. Are they like the size of an eraser?
Yeah, they're
Or
miniatures.
an apple?
Yeah, I think if you put an apple next to them, it would come up to their waist. There should be an apple so you can see how big they are. This is a hot, Connor saying hot. Could be a cherry, yeah.
But did Connor say hot to this set or the set before?
I believe it's this one that he's saying.
There is a delay.
A knot to the Panther for Gap. What about these? Anybody getting these little 1/18 scale? These are the 4-inch figures. I think they're kind of pricey for 4 inches, but anyone? Joy Toy?
Who are those people?
They are the Infinity. The game. I think it's from a video game or something like that.
Is that Rocket Raccoon on the top left?
No, it's some sort of like a wolf or something like that, I think, but he's all in Met gear. I'm almost thinking that guy, because of his height, he probably scales close to a 6-inch figure, so it could be kind of cool. That guy, because he would actually possibly work with 6-inch figures, right?
When are we getting a Werewolf by Night figure?
That's the thing. I don't think you're ever seeing any of those.
Man,
Pass on the Joy Toy stuff.
Apparently, dark stuff is not allowed according to the HasLab.
Yeah, I know people have Joy Toys and love them.
I'd get them all. I'm kind of out of Marvel, buying Marvel figures. They don't really interest me too much anymore. But I would definitely get Werewolf by Night.
I just do the carded Spider-Man. That's it. That's the only.
Yeah, to me, yeah.
So this was a Marvel Legends from
Spider-Man
earlier
great.
in the week. This is Killmonger, right?
Yeah, this is cool.
I think it's kind of interesting to think this could be a really cool to fit in with a GI Joe. Like if you wanted to set it with Joe's or something like that and have like an alternate version. What?
Is it the pants that do it?
Kind of like a combination. You got the armor, the pants, the gear that he's wearing. It's all militaristic. You can see the gun belt on there. It's got the grenades and stuff like that. So
that's exactly what I was thinking. When
coloring too, like the hint of just like the animation.
Yeah, when you first pulled it up, I thought it was G.I. Joe until I saw the claw.
And then let's see, hot, Killmonger's hot. There are people that are using the special emojis in there. They just don't pop up on here. StreamYard doesn't show them.
Do they? Let me see. Oh, yeah,
and then what about Wanda? Anybody? This is a Target exclusive.
Oh, that's cool.
I think it's nearly identical to the one that they just released for the WandaVision, except for they gave her the sleeves, right? And then the book. So it's
like the Evil Dead book. The Evil Dead book's pretty cool.
Big difference. I wish if they were doing like the Multiverse of Madness one, they would have did the one where she's wearing like the white shirt with the blue jeans, no shoes, and the blood on the face. I think that's the one that would have been like a really cool to do as a Target exclusive.
I think her face expression doesn't go with this figure though, what she's doing.
What do you think her face should be doing? Mouth open, like
just something other than just looking like I did something wrong. Like I came home and I didn't my wife came home and I didn't do dishes. That's that look, that stare.
Oh, that's why you don't want it, because you feel like every time you see it, it's going to be like, oh, I better go upstairs and do the dishes.
Do dishes, yeah.
All right, so we got some.
My wife designed this figure.
All right. Let's see. What about Black Chrysanthemum? Is it about time?
I think your version's much better.
The only problem is apparently this is shorter than it's supposed to be. So like somebody was showing the back cover art of this where it's got the measurement. So this is shorter than the Chewbacca and Black series when it's supposed to be.
It's 6.9 inches tall, supposedly.
Chewbacca's like 7.1 or something like that.
Is he? I'm gonna measure mine because
somebody did say that he is smaller than Chewbacca.
My guess is only so they can reuse this for General Tarful. That's why it's a little bit shorter. Because like this buck, you could definitely just swap the head out, take the armor off, and put the shoulder straps over, and then you can make General Tarful and the other general from Attack of the Clone or Revenge of the Sith.
All right.
I don't think he looks good. I don't think it looks good.
I think it does look. I mean,
I don't think the body doesn't look.
The other thing because they did a video about him, and some of the stuff that I wasn't clear about was like the hands. Are the hands on like hinges? Do the fingers go like this?
I don't think
two left feet. It looks like he has two left feet.
I don't know, but
his scar is missing too. If you look like at the face, they really didn't like define his scar, or there's like
because they said in the video that they paid a lot of attention to that.
Yeah, no, he's missing his scar, at least from the promo pictures.
Okay. His shoulders aren't broad enough either.
Okay, supposedly shorter than Chewie, 6.9. Let's see. Much better armor than the previous version, more than one color. Yeah, I agree.
It looks 10 times better. Somebody compared like the two of them side by side, and it's night and day. Like they actually did a good job on this, but yeah, just and then they showed off today the TVC version of it, which looks just as good. Like, and they gave him the electronic things to go over his fist.
Yeah. Oh, does this guy not have does he have the pieces on his hands? Okay.
He's got them. He just doesn't come with like an effect for it. The TVC one though does come with like an effect you can put over the hands, and it gives him. It looks like they're like charged up.
Oh, so it comes with like the little blue.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And then of course these are the Super 7 or whatever. I'm not into any of these. I think the scale is wrong for me. They look fantastic, but I think their quality is just not there and stuff like that. So
animated version, right?
Subpar 7, as Jono would say.
The little accessories look kind of cool though. Like I'd be in for this guy because the jetpack over here, I think that could pull double duty and work with a classified. I like the little snake in the bucket and stuff like that, but I mean, not for $50.
Yeah, not to spend the money on the accessories and stuff like that. Yeah.
Subpar, not on Super 7. Here you go.
Yeah.
It's too bad too.
Jono hates Super 7.
What happened to Super 7? Weren't they making great figures not that long ago?
They look good. It's just like they're not like you can't handle them or do anything with them because they break a lot. And like they're 7 inches, just like the McFarlane. So it's like they're out of place and out of scale with the rest of your stuff, you know.
What about I know Dino, you collect these, right?
Yeah, but this is more I collect the first few movies. This is more which movie is this one? He's got the egg. So is this the third movie?
Third one, maybe. Yeah.
I got a real problem with like these action figure photographers, right? Like I don't know if you guys have noticed that I've been taking some of the figures and throwing them in like other pictures. I mean, I just see them, but like this picking up the egg, I feel like that dinosaur just pooped that egg out.
Oh yeah,
in that picture, I'm like, I don't know.
It's looking back at him too. You see that his head's turned to like look back at it.
Why you picking up my egg?
Thanks for grabbing my ass. Like,
was there a white Velociraptor in the third movie?
I don't know.
I don't think.
Yeah, so. I don't remember the it looks like though that like the look he's wearing is from the third movie.
I would get it if it's the third one. I don't know if I'd put it in my diorama, but I would probably get it. Who said Raptor 3? You went by it too quick. Did they say it was part 3? Jurassic 3 Raptors are like the best.
Yeah, so Jurassic Park 3.
It's not Jurassic. Not on Jurassic.
I don't think it is part 3.
Hey, you guys are talking about the Jabba from the Black Series, New Crumb. Okay, so that's going to be later in the slide. What about this? You guys, any Mattel Creations, right? Is anybody collecting these anymore?
I jumped off. I did get the Frogmonger. I got that figure. I think I'm kind of out. Well, actually, I'm gonna get the snake with the long arms because I have the original.
Okay. So I've never gotten anything from Mattel Creations, by the way. Anything that I've ever tried to like get or got canceled.
I got the Raptor. I mean the T-Rex with the lawyer. I got that. I got the Frogmonger. I got Malcolm from Jurassic Park in that little diorama. So I've been lucky enough that I've gotten a few.
It's all the same photographer. It's Shooting the Galaxy.
Shooting the Galaxy, yeah.
He's the one who shoots everything.
Yeah, Jurassic
it was really funny. Like when he posted those carbonized Ned and stuff like that, and then his post was like, "I tried really hard."
Yeah.
All right. So hot on that. Cat.
I do like hey Cat. I do like the blue He-Man, but I have the original. Not the original, but the
well, of course you got the original. Do you want to get up and run over there and grab it?
I don't have the original from the 80s or whatever, whenever it came out, but I have the Origins first release.
Okay. And then Waze is probably all in on this wave.
Yep.
Do you know?
No. Yep. I need 2 Omegas too.
Okay.
No,
okay,
I'm getting
so
0.
Here is Tech, right?
Yep. And this time they gave him his goggles and cut out his helmet, so it's accurate to the show.
Yeah. So I would say that almost all of these are going to be pretty hot. I like the fact that all of these are getting done. I'm not a Bad Batch watcher or anything like that. I have all the figures from the first run. Some of these look really, really good, but
I prefer this look over the other look. So to me, that's the only reason why I'm all in on this. If I wasn't, I would have been fine with the other ones. But I like these, like the colors, and I made a custom Omega that matches these.
Right. G-Force is not getting any of the repaints.
Are they repainted?
Yeah, they're the Bad Batch, but they're repainted. I guess they
so
talk to the
my Omega grown up with that matches them with the colors.
They talked to the cartoon guys and they said, "Hey, can you guys do a new color scheme for the Bad Batch characters so we can re-release new figures?"
Is she that old in this series?
No, but I just did like a concept grown up Omega with different color
That's
armor
cool, man.
matching it. And
I like it. Good job, man.
Yeah.
thanks.
Is that a female body or is that a male body?
It's a combination of like a bunch of different body parts. I took like a little bit from a couple of the different Bad Batch members, and then legs are from Scorch and stuff like that.
So what about Hunter? Right, this is Hunter.
Yep.
Hunter looks good.
I like the.
Oh, go ahead, Vern. I'm sorry.
I like the colors on him. I think it really pops. I mean, he was hard to get in the original, right?
Yeah, really hard. My only thing is, I wish they'd lighten up his tattoo. Like, it's not that dark on his face, and it's like more just like a light like wash over his face. They always do it like so like he's Samoan instead of you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the Two-Face version.
Yeah, like that's almost what it looks like. And like when you look at Hunter, like in the animation, it's just like it's very light over his face that just kind of comes down.
Yeah. Is that like Christmas Grogu you got down there?
Where?
Let me pull this up.
Oh, your tablecloth?
No,
it's a blanket. Yeah, it's a it's a Star Wars Christmas blanket. My dog's sleeping on the bed, so that's her blanket. She's literally like passed out in it right now.
Sure, it's the dog's blanket.
You see her? Can you see her now? She's passed out in the middle.
All right, and then here's Wrecker. Apparently he's somebody said that he's got some retooling or something like that on there, so not a complete repaint. I think it looks pretty good. I'm kind of a sucker for the bigger figures like this, so I may end up picking up Wrecker just because I like the.
Because you like to spend the $35-$40 range. Is that what it is?
Okay.
It's going to be a deluxe figure, and you just.
I like it because they added the neck piece and the shoulder piece to him, and he's a little bit different. But Omega, they knocked this out the park.
So Omega, do you think this is going to be taller than the last one?
Yeah, a little bit taller. It's a different. It's the same lower legs with a different upper torso and arm, so it's a little bit taller. Yeah. But when they designed that one, because this is the Omega body, I painted it for Paz Lizzo's kid. But when they designed the body, the lower legs are longer already, so they could do this. Like they had this in mind already. So then if they need to do kids at different sizes, they can.
This I'm definitely picking up because I have a Ricky Schroeder little setup at home because I used to watch that TV show. What was that TV show?
Silver Spoons?
Silver Spoons. It'll go good in my Silver Spoons diorama.
Okay, so you're going to make Omega Ricky Schroeder.
Yeah.
Okay. I like the fact that we finally got an alternate head sculpt with somebody. And like, she's got this like happy, more, like lighthearted face. And then the one with the helmet is a more serious, like, look. Plus they finally gave her the collapsible bow, which is a nice touch.
Well, I was kind of hoping when I saw this that we would be getting like the Kenobi Leia.
Yes.
Right. Yes. So I'm hoping that this is
on the Omega body. That's all we need. Yeah, they just need to do the head sculpt and repaint it. Because I made one, but I switched the legs out with the Maz Kanata to make her a little bit smaller.
Right.
And I just actually ordered a head sculpt for her yesterday. Somebody actually finally put up like an actual Kid Leia head sculpt, so I was able to order it.
All right. So there's a lot of like, there's some knots. Some people are like, these prices haven't been very selective. Yeah, I got to admit, like, if we were to talk about this in those windowless boxes, I did do that rant, and the one thing that I kind of left out was that the price hikes have really probably turned a lot of people off, and I probably should have mentioned that. I think that's a really big deal, right? Like they should go back and reflect on their pricing, and I think I had said this in a much earlier video when they raised the prices, but like do you remember this movie called Mr. Mom? Have you ever seen it, Waze?
Yeah, okay, Hulk Hogan.
So
no,
Hulk Hogan?
That was
that's
Urban Commando, wasn't it?
No, Hulk Hogan was in Mr. Mom or Mr. Nanny. What was the one? He was
Mr. Mom is Michael Keaton. He loses his job as a car engineer, and he ends up having to stay home. And his wife goes back to advertising. And in the middle of the thing, there's this like tuna company, and the slogan that they go that it's a tuna company, and they go, hey, here at Schooner Tuna, we understand that American families are struggling right now, and so what we're going to do is we're going to reduce the price of our tuna by 25 cents a can, and then when things go back to normal, we'll go back to our regular pricing. And remember, it's Schooner Tuna, the tuna with a heart. And I keep thinking like Hasbro should come out and do something like that and say, hey, we set these higher price points, but we understand the economy. Everybody's in kind of a tough situation. So we're going to go back to our regular, this previous pricing for now. And then we're going to look at these higher pricing when, the economy starts making like a turnaround or something like that. I think that could go.
You think that would go a long way, but the fact that they couldn't even issue the press release about the plastic-free packaging, they issued it to you guys, like to people who are on their brand email list, and had other people regurgitate their press statement instead of them coming out and saying something about it. That's what tells you like they want nothing to do with actually like coming out and being the spokesperson. They wanted all these other people to be the spokesperson, like that shared that press release. That's all it was. Yeah. So I don't think there's going to be cutbacks. They're doing all this reversion and changing, of course, because they're losing so much money. My guess is the stores pushed back and said, hey, we're putting all this stuff on clearance because of the packaging, and now they're going to change gears and make less of it and put it back to plastic packaging.
For me, it's more about the price than it is the packaging. For me personally, like as far as like I love, as you see around me when I collect Star Wars, I like and the Spider-Man, I like the retro packaging. I collect all the Spider-Man retro packaging because I love Spider-Man. I love that style. I love the vintage collection and the Black Series when they come out with that packaging. But I've been passing on this way because it's $25 and $34 for a figure versus the $19.99 where I originally would buy them all. Like I would go and I would buy that ugly Han Solo in the trench coat for $20, but 25 I'll pass on them.
And it don't so like I agree with you in those, because simply like all I'm gonna do is wait those out till they're on clearance, and then I'll pick up a set of all of them to keep on card when they're down to $10. But the only one I picked up for full price was Wicket. I had to pick.
I picked up Wicket and I picked up a Biker Scout.
Yeah, that's what I grabbed the Biker Scout too because I didn't have any. So
but I got Wicket for $17.
Nice.
I got him at GameStop. I had the $5 off and another so I had $10 off of Wicket. So
yeah, that makes a huge difference then on him. But yeah, if they go to clearance, I'll pick up a full wave of the Return of the Jedi just to keep on card and hang up because that's my favorite Star Wars movie. But yeah, for full price, no, I'm not going all in on that because I have all those figures already. Like I'm only getting the ones that are the new ones, the Endor Trooper, Wicket, and the Chewie. And then,
I'll get the Chewie too. I like the Chewie with the chain. It's going to look cool.
Yeah,
but I don't know if I'm going to display it. He's going to have to go in a bin.
What do you guys think about this trooper?
What's that?
I just got the Scorch and painted him, and then saw this, and I was like, "You sons of bitches!" Like I could have just bought this and painted it, and not had to do the light on Scorch. Like, fuck.
What is this one right here you're showing, Vern?
It's a white commando.
Yeah,
it's a clone commando. But it's
what
the white
scale is this? Is this like the little kid version?
No, this is Black Series. It's the same.
That's the problem, right? Because they're making it look like the cartoon version, so that's why he has this kind of look, where it's not like going to be like from a live action series. They all look a little bit different.
It looks like a Mission Fleet.
Yeah, it's Black Series though. It's just like the Scorch and the ones that are in GameStop currently. It's just not painted. It's just all white.
Mm-hmm. And then this is
Echo.
Yeah, Echo.
And the only thing that's missing, they didn't give him his other attachment for his arm. So he actually lost an accessory out of all of them.
Or did he, or did they just not show it?
It's not in the shot of all the accessories that come with him. Like when you look at the spread, he's missing that like robot claw.
All right. And then these were the reveals from today, and this is the Luke.
It looks good.
Jedi?
Yes. These are carded.
So to me, this is like kind of going back, and I think this is going to be fantastic because you can see the butterfly joints on the Luke, which I think are going to give him a lot more flexibility.
Yeah, and it's got the flap.
Yeah,
they brought back the flap from the number one.
Yeah,
right.
So
that was number one.
Yeah.
What is it?
So,
Removable?
so this one is actually if you looked at this is actually the indoor, the one with the indoor that has like the cloth over. And what I did was it's the same. So I just peeled the chest piece off. It comes off like that. It's got a peg.
Can you fix his left arm, please?
Yeah. So it's
Thank
got
you.
it's got like the
It's
peg
too
piece.
distracting.
And basically what
Too
I did was I just took the one that came on the indoor one off, and I've stuck the one from my original figure on it just because I wanted the better head sculpt.
How'd you put it on it? It just snaps in?
Yeah, it's just got pegs because the original one came with 2 chest pieces and they just pop out.
Oh, I didn't know that.
That was like literally the first loop that ever came out. Yeah.
So was this a repack?
No, this is like a totally retooled new one. Yeah.
Yeah,
they
this
just
one
included that little feature from that first Luke in it, so you can have the flap down or up.
Yeah, this one looks actually really good, especially with the butterfly joint on the shoulders. I think he should be able to get some good flexibility. So if you're looking for the Jedi Luke, I think this is going to be pretty much their definitive one. This may be the one that they were retooling for that HasLab.
Yeah, probably.
And then just decided, well, continue working on it. We'll just put it out for Return of the Jedi 40th. So I think this
will come on the vintage card.
Yeah.
Who knows? Did they say that or no?
Yeah, they showed all these on the Return of the Jedi card. These are the last.
Yeah, I didn't see the pictures on the cards, and then even
the card, Vern. Can you pull them up?
Well, when I'm done.
Yeah, you have to.
So here's the R2. The only thing that I was looking at this one is that head piece. Does it have a slot that a saber will fit into it?
I'm not sure. They didn't.
Yeah,
they didn't show that because the other one it doesn't actually fit. It just sticks in at the top.
I think that if they were going to go through all this trouble to redo R2D2, that they could have built a compartment that a lightsaber could have fit into.
Well, it would have to have the lightsaber.
They just didn't show. So yeah.
Oh, was that Power of the Force? Was that Power of the Force line when he had
the Black Series has the port for it. It just doesn't actually like fit into the head. It just sits there and sticks out. So it's like a display thing. This though, they might have actually made it where you can push the whole saber into the top.
Yeah. So
what's up with the picture on the left? I mean, on the right. Why is his neck up so high? Is that showing you what the leg comes down?
So that's what happens to a R2, like an astromech, when they go in like a cockpit. So like if he was in a Naboo starfighter, that's what happens to R2's head, and like that's how he sits in the cockpit of the Naboo starfighter.
Okay, so then I have to ask a question. If they're designing an R2D2 to do this, are they getting ready to release an X-Wing?
Maybe.
When they pop Luke in an X-Wing, his neck doesn't do that.
Yeah. When he goes up into the droid port, his head separates from his body. That was what they had done, like with the Naboo starfighter and the X-Wing.
That's not that's not in the X-Wing. If you watch him drop down in the X-Wing, he just sits in.
He drops. But that's what I mean in the Naboo starfighter.
Yeah, but I don't know because that R5.
Same thing.
I don't know. It's.
I don't buy it, man. They just make it.
That's how they did it. That's how they did it in the prequels. Was that his?
Okay.
It's got a third leg.
Didn't R2 like do something where like his head had to pop up when he got electrocuted or something like that, or shot?
It did with one of them, right? Yeah, right. Like everything shot out though. His head did move up and down.
Yeah. So this is fantasy then.
Yeah.
Okay. Because
so is that going to come on a new card?
Completely honest, in this mode right here,
it's totally a new tool. It's actually in scale. So like the other R2 is too small. This one's actually proper size.
But in this mode where the neck is popping up, it just doesn't look right. I just have to say it out loud.
Is that when the R2 gets excited?
Moff Gerard, Gerard, right?
Yeah.
The Emperor is not happy with your performance.
Who's that one?
Show you.
Is that from Empire?
Yeah, moving as quickly as possible. You can tell that to the Emperor when he arrives.
Oh, is that guy?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So that was I don't know all their names, but yeah, I don't know, man. I might have to get that if it's on the 40th card.
I only know that was Jar Gerard at the beginning of Return of the Jedi that he having a conversation with Darth Vader because of the book.
Oh, that's vintage collection.
Yeah, that's they're kind of mixed up in here. So I was just taking the pictures as they were popping up. This is also vintage collection. This is
oh, okay.
9.
Yeah, I'll get these.
Like, okay, thanks 100%. For the 9 in the vintage collection. Can we get them in the Black Series?
And this is one everybody wanted on the 40th anniversary too. Like everyone was hoping that he was going to finally get done in this year's wave, but now we got all the figures revealed after today.
Why does he have that giant gun?
Well, Bounty Supply had the head for the Black Series, so I think it looks pretty decent.
Yeah,
that looks good.
Okay, so I think that one, I think it's pretty good. I don't like vintage collection, but I'm happy that he's finally in there. It just gives me hope that pretty soon he's going to be in a Black Series.
Yeah, because it seems that's the trend. One or the other, we get a lot.
Okay, so Left Coast is saying that tomorrow they're revealing the TVC HasLab. That's going to be Bo-Katan ship.
It's the Ghost, the Rebel.
Yeah, I think it's the Ghost, right? Isn't that what they said?
No, that's just what you guys want it to be. But wait till tomorrow, and then we're going to have the same Last Jedi conversation again about the HasLab.
They got the guy with the thing over his face.
Hey, I don't collect TVC, but if they do the Ghost and it's reasonably priced, I will buy it.
So here is the Skiff Guard people, and because they put out these Skiff Guard people, I'm thinking that tomorrow's TVC HasLab is going to be a cell barge, Jabba's cell barge.
The one that they gave away to 2 people today?
It's going to be HasLab. It's going to be an exclusive, though.
They reprinted 2 HasLabs to give away. Come on, you telling me there's not more sitting around in a warehouse somewhere?
Yeah.
Come on.
Did they give 2 away?
Yeah, they gave 2 Jabba sail barges away to people today that were in attendance. And I was like, well, how did you come up with 2 extra Jabba sail barges when it was a HasLab? It was made to order, and it was what, 2 years ago, 3 years ago now? Like, that's kind of funny.
So I wonder about this right here. Is this the new Yoda body? The one that's like properly scaled?
The Empire one, yeah. Yep.
Okay, the one that came with Luke in the training Luke. Okay, because I still have the Black Series Ghost version of Yoda that I think was a Walmart exclusive, and I still have them in the box.
And it's on the bigger buck. Yeah.
Yeah, and the Ben Kenobi in Ghost was already released, and the Anakin was released, but it just had a different head on it.
It was never released as Anakin.
The previous Anakin guy with the older head sculpt was never released?
No, not as a Force Ghost.
Was that Power of the Force then that I'm thinking of?
Yeah, I have it. I have the Power of the Force one if you want to see it.
Okay, maybe it was Power of the Force that I'm thinking of. So
they never did Force Ghost Anakin before in Black Series. They only did Kenobi and Yoda, but Yoda was improperly scaled, so now we got him on the proper buck.
So is Kenobi and Anakin really sized that difference in real life?
Anakin was taller than him, right? Like I'm pretty sure.
Is he really?
I think it's the same body though. They're just Obi-Wan's just more far back in the picture than Anakin.
It looks like they're far back, but it doesn't. If you look at their feet, they look like they're the same.
Which makes me wonder if these guys were all photoshopped onto this walkway, and the guy in the Photoshop just didn't
scaling properly.
On one picture.
But Darth Vader's supposed to be taller anyway, so you would think that Anakin would be a lot taller than Obi-Wan.
But it looks like Obi-Wan and Anakin are on the same body. Like it looks like they use the come on, Hayden is a Vader. Get out of here with that.
No, I wish they had an alternate head that you could switch the original head.
Yeah, put Egghead on there.
JT saying the thing about giving the cell barges away is that the new owners have to carry them around all day. Can you imagine?
They did that with the lightsabers too. They were like, "Oh, you got to come to the booth and get your box and all your accessories and your charger." It's like, "Oh fuck, you just gave me a lightsaber. Now I got to carry this fucking thing around all day."
Yeah, right.
Can you imagine though, like, if you traveled internationally, then you have to like check it. That's
yeah, right. I feel bad.
Ship it back to you.
If Scuba Pete won one.
Yeah, that would be funny.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that if somebody won one, they would ship it to me. I promise I won't accept it. That way it can get sent back.
I'd be nervous about going in the parking lot.
Yeah.
And all three of these are on card too. They're in a box set, but they're all on classic retro cards. So that'd be a nice set to keep nice.
This is kind of like the best thing that I saw. I even said it in my video that I did about the plastic free packaging. I was like, why not re-release the Jabba? And here it is. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is pretty cool. And
I'm happy with the STC version. Like, it's not just the basic Jabba by himself. Like, they gave us the full package too, which is
at least he comes with the piece on the side, and he comes with the crumb, which I think is actually really awesome. And the best part about this is I don't have the picture of it, but it comes in a Kenner style box.
Yeah.
Oh,
which is
really?
Great. It looks like the original Kenner Jabba, like the way they.
That's a black series, so definitely this is like one to like get and just keep in the box.
Oh, is this Black Series?
Yes,
Black Series.
Oh, it is.
What? Yeah, Black Series.
I thought it was vintage collection because that would go great with the new Jabba's Palace.
It is. It's going to go great with my new Jabba's Palace that I'm going to be building here shortly.
How do you know it's Black Series?
Because I watched the
logo on the top, and I watched the we watched the stream.
I missed this. Was this all today?
Jabba.
This was today.
Enough with US exclusives. Hot. Now this is going to be a park and Shop Disney, right, or something like that.
Yeah. Shop Disney and Pulse exclusive.
Hot.
Yeah, I needed this. I don't have the original Jabba, and I've been looking for him, but like he goes for like $100 now just for that solo one that doesn't come with anything.
He's still gonna go for $100.
Yeah,
I don't think so. I think this would be like 75.
This Comic-Con one, when it comes with it, if you were to get that Comic-Con one, you're looking at like maybe $250, $300 now, right?
$300, yeah, on the secondhand market.
So if you're looking at just Jabba for 100, and then this prices out as 100, which I'm guessing it'll probably be 100, 125.
I think it'll be less.
You think so? What's your price guess?
I think this and the 3-pack of the Force Ghost will be the same exact price. So my guess is like $75.
Okay, I'm thinking it's going to be a little bit more, just because I'm thinking like they're going to say, oh well, we threw in the little hookah thing and stuff like that, and we got the packaging, and that's a premium.
Does anybody do any of you guys have the original one from San Diego? Because that would be the how much did you pay for that?
That one wasn't even $50.
So that's what I'm saying. So now you're talking like the same exact set that already was released. How many years later?
Yeah, but you're talking about how many years and how many price hikes.
Oh, well, that's what I'm saying, because it was 2014 that the original one came out. So like,
so I remember that Jabba by itself in the store was like $30 or something like that.
Did you read Connor's? Connor said $89. 89 euro.
Okay, so it'll probably be about the same.
He has heard.
Yeah,
but now Connor you have heard it's 125, Connor.
So go back on the Ghosts. Does the Ghost come with the bridge?
We don't. Oh no! It's just just Photoshop.
No, just a picture on the box of the bridge.
So they come in a 3-pack like together, but they're individually carded on Return of the Jedi cards.
So to get the bridge, what you have to do is you got those fruit trees out back. You got to go cut some of your branches and get some little string twine. Yeah, make it yourself. You could make the
GeForce's channel to make the popsicle sticks.
Who's good at making stuff out of popsicle sticks? GeForce.
Yeah.
Made some stuff out of popsicle sticks. And look, Dino couldn't resist getting out of his chair to go get something from his collection.
So is this the same Yoda or no?
No,
that one's a little bit taller.
It's the Return of the Jedi Luke and Yoda 2-pack, or Empire Strikes Back Luke and Yoda 2-pack one.
So Dino, this one that you have right here used the older body, but that one that came out with the training Luke is actually more in scale, so it's a little bit shorter.
Yeah. It's the Luke with the backpack and Yoda, that one.
Yeah, so the one that came singly on the card is too long. It's too big.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. Okay.
I was super excited about this Jabba the Hutt.
I was too, because this was one I've been talking about with you that like, man, I really wish they'd redo Jabba.
Yeah, and this Cad Bane just looks fantastic.
And this rounds out that wave of 4. So this is just a Boba Fett 4-pack wave of figures.
Yeah, this is the TV version of the Cad Bane, and I'm 100% in. It just looks fantastic.
Yeah, it does. Really nice.
And
then we got the Tusken Chief, the Pike Trooper, and Santo. That's the 4 for those for that Boba Fett wave.
Yeah, I'm not even going to wait for all the people to vote that this is hot, because we all know that's the only emoji you guys are going to use. These guys are still talking about popsicle sticks and fudgesicle sticks. If you use, the problem here is if you use God, say it please, fudgesicle sticks. They're going to be brown.
Can't say it either.
They're going to be brown. It's not going to look right.
Yeah.
3 Cad Banes. Look, Connor is like, not. He threw in all the knots. He doesn't like Cad Bane, apparently.
I like Cad Bane, but I like the vintage collection.
He did that on purpose. I
want the retro collection, Cad Bane.
It's tooled nice.
This is the vintage collection. We all knew this was coming.
Yep.
This was cool.
Because they already have the mold for the ship, but they did have to do some retooling and repainting, right? To get with the open pits and stuff. And it comes with a stand for a flight, which is actually kind of cool. Comes with the Mando, and I'm guessing he has the soft cape finally.
And he's carded
too.
Yeah, he comes with the spear, he comes with the
dark saber
and soft goods. Yep.
So this is probably $100. You think this is the same one that came with the Razor Crest then?
Probably just retooled, because they changed the thigh pad and then the cape, I think, right? Or did the
cape
other
looks like it has holes in it? Did the sail barge one? I mean the Razor Crest have holes in the cape?
It was a cloth cape, right?
Yeah, they gave him the spear though, because he had the spear during that point in the show, so that's why they included it.
Whoops.
It's $130 though. $130 is the retail price for it. $129.
Wow.
Is it $129? It's out of my price.
Is Grogu in the card with him?
I'm not sure. I'm using my phone, so I can't look at the other pictures I had of it. But
can R2?
This is all I saw. This is all I saw.
Yeah, I think it looks really cool. The uncarded pictures. It does look cool.
When they show him with this cape like that, it is completely Eastwood, right?
Oh yeah, and it's so. Isn't it funny? Do you realize, like, every version of Mando, nobody knows what color the cape is? Like, every manufacturer who makes a soft goods cape for Mando, it's a different color. It's either gray, it's brown, it's black. Nobody like can nail the actual color of the cape.
Well, when I made my custom cloth cape, I did a dark blue.
Yeah, I used the Kenobi one, so he's got a brown cape on mine. You know, from the blue Kenobi.
Yeah, I did a. Where's it? Did I put it back?
But I ordered the Mafex one that comes out more towards the end of the year, so I'm looking forward to that.
I did this really dark blue.
Yeah, that looks good too.
Oh, I like that. Is that like a step cape? It looked.
I sewed it all down so that the hood would like kind of like this part would stay down, and then I sewed it so it would stay in this like folded mode.
Yeah, that
just
looks
because
fantastic.
I wanted to be able to put the jetpack on and then have it just tuck right behind the jetpack.
I didn't know you did customizing.
Yeah, once in a while. Let's see.
This is cool, but in the past for me, I'm trying to stick with original trilogy.
Look at this. Left Coast is at my sock. You know, I had a couple of guys on another show, and when I would make stuff, they would just make fun of it all the time.
Yeah, I like it. I think you did amazing work, Vern.
I made this like ice sled for Iceman, and then these other two guys just every week told me it looked like a sock.
No comment.
What show was that?
Looks like a monkey sock. Yeah. See? All right. Anyways, I think everybody
I'm
thinks this.
I'm tempted by this though. Like just the price is what's getting me. Like I don't collect TVC, but this would be a cool piece to have. Like same thing with
Yeah.
the Ghost. It just depends on like the price, and I'd probably like have to wait this out. If it goes down, like drops below $100, I'd be in. But especially considering that the old Naboo Starfighter up until last year, you could buy it for $20 anywhere you went.
Yeah, I bet that old Starfighter spiked and then started dropping again. So I bet like eventually you'll be able to get that original one cheaper, which has lights and sounds. I don't know if this one does, but then
I don't think so. That was the thing I was wondering, if like they included all that same stuff that the original one had, or if they, when they retooled it, they just gutted it.
I think it looks great though. Definitely, I think they did a great job with it.
I'm gonna be interested to see like if they really do the Ghost. Man, that's gonna be a challenge. That's a lot more detailed than the Razor Quest is. So like
Let me ask you, would you like to have sounds and lights in it?
In the Ghost?
Yeah.
Or this? I don't know. I mean, it depends on the price. Like if they're asking like $500-$600 for it, I'm out. You know what I mean? But
yeah.
If it's like $250-$300, maybe. It all depends.
What if they were to go from
time out? Fresh from Star Wars Celebration, it's the Salacious Rum. I will not read this comment out loud, please, because we don't want that in.
I haven't seen any photos.
Nice to see you, man. Thanks for coming by.
What? I was looking to see if he posted any photos. I didn't see anything.
Yeah, I haven't seen anything either. You know what I did see? I saw he has this like really cool like celebration pin, and I
told him I want some.
Yeah, me too. I was hoping he would send me one in like 7 years.
Yeah, Salacious, I want some of that swag. I have one of your shirts. I purchased a shirt.
Okay, what about these? What about these guards? Are we interested in those?
Yeah.
I need it. I need one, but I'm gonna have to buy two because these don't match the previous guard. So like I only have one. I've been needing another one.
Okay.
But these don't match the original ones. They retooled these with the Connor Jax body underneath. It's not the like they changed the color. It's the that publishing version, and they just changed the upper cape.
So is this retro card also?
Wait a minute.
Yes.
So this has the same color scheme as the Connor Jax?
Yeah, it's a shinier armor. It's that shinier. Yeah. I think it's darker though. That's the original one?
Yeah.
Yeah, so no, it's not. It's they use the Connor Jax one because it's a little bit shinier.
What's up with your hands, man? Can't you fix your figure's hands? They're all in some crazy positions, man.
Listen, the reason why his hand is like all bent like that is because when he's holding his staff, I want him to be holding it like that, so the staff just comes out of the hand and goes up, right? Yeah. Like he's holding it like this. That's why his hand is like that. You don't see the hand because
his hand doesn't turn how it should to be able to hold it. Yeah, that's the problem with those. But yeah, it looks like they took those carbonized ones and the what they just did for the carbonized one, and it's pretty much the same thing.
He says swag coming your way. I'm sure that's to
You don't have my address though. He's talking to me. He's not talking to you, Vern. He's talking to me. You don't have my address though. I'll send it to you.
Yeah, I would like to know like what you saw. Because I thought you had like tickets to be like on the floor or something like that. That would be pretty interesting.
But this is definitely I love these figures. See, as far as like getting a new Leia and a new Han and Luke and stuff like that, those I'd pass more. But as far as a new carded figure on my wall,
yeah,
definitely go for this.
And what about this Vader? I think it's awesome. I think they did a fantastic. I don't have a picture of it, the new face, but I thought they did a fantastic job updating the face because the old one is just kind of like a blob, and this one actually looks like it has a lot of details in it.
Yeah, this one I don't know. He looks too happy in this one. His face shot.
So this
you mean with the helmet on?
Yeah, I don't like the smile he has. If it was more of a.
Do you want to? Does somebody have a picture of the head? If you share it, I'll put it up. We can see the headshot.
I do, but I'm I'm streaming off my phone, so I can't
That's
snag
right.
it and send it to
I
you.
like his dance. He's got a dance move on the top. Do you see that dance? He's like,
Okay, let me see if I can find it because
He looks good though. It
is that
looks
what it
good,
is?
and
Is
I'm
that a
not sure.
Fred Astaire dance?
And I'm not sure if they blended. Like it doesn't fully look like Sebastian Shaw. It almost looks like they like met in the middle between Hayden and Sebastian Shaw. But it might not. I might be wrong because I know they did pipeline the Vader with the Hayden head too.
Yeah, the problem was like they came out with all their like official shots after I did this like slideshow. So it's kind of like I missed the opportunity to like have
the actual promo shots from the PR
promo pictures, which would have been really cool to like have those, but I was trying to get this done ahead of time. And I'm like a one-man show here. Is that sharing or no?
There we go. Yeah.
Let me zoom. Let me see if I can zoom in. The only thing that I have to say about this head sculpt is, and I'll say it out loud right now, Bill Murray.
Yeah.
A little bit. Yeah,
definitely.
So
I like it. I like the fact though that like it's fully removable, and then hopefully when they do that Hayden, it's the same thing, but they give us the crack. You know what I mean? So we could take the mask fully off and have Hayden underneath, or have the crack mask over the top. That would be cool.
Yeah. Whose head is this supposed to be?
That's
Sebastian Shaw.
That's Darth Vader's head.
No, yeah. I know, but is it Hayden Christian or
Sebastian? No. It's the from the reveal from Return of the Jedi. It's Bill Murray.
I like it, but what is this, a Black Series?
Yes.
Yeah, because they just did the TVC one that was like this. The TVC one that's like just came out.
Yeah, that's a definite pickup. The TVC version.
So
is this that figure?
What?
Is this that figure with the removable helmet, or they're making two different ones?
No, this is it. This is it. Okay, it's the same Vader that we have, just they updated the face. Yeah, it looks fantastic. Salacious saying he spent time at Hasbro booth today. Who wants an exclusive Darth Vader QR code? Oh, he called it a BS QR code. So he's probably like, do you want the BS code? Black Series. I was reading as something else.
Yeah. I actually believed you there. I didn't take it.
I have all the high resolution pictures on my heroes page. Of course you do. And okay, so we'll move right into
this is a definite pickup.
Bill Murray would say
no BS on Indy, man.
That's true.
I'm all in on Indy.
Okay. Well, that's good because today, out of 7 reveals, they revealed 4 Indiana Jones figures.
Are they all the same? Hold on, wait a second. Is that one figure or 3 different figures?
So this is obviously going to be a deluxe. So this is the very first repack of the original Indiana Jones figure that they put out and just came out. This is the Indiana Jones. So there's no change. Yet, so. The same crummy holster that doesn't hold any of the equipment. He's got the same rubber gun that just bends away, that won't even fit into the holster without bending. He's got the same not removable hat, the same stuff. This is exactly the same figure. So what they did was they put it in a box like this.
Hello.
And they added that little plastic thing that the idol sits on. And then, they gave him a bag.
Our buddy Bat and Bill over at he just got done like putting this up on the website along with the skull that's also was revealed, and now Hasbro actually did background stuff that they never do.
I'll throw you some cash.
So anyways, I think it's hilarious that he gets a bag and he gets a stand and he gets his first deluxe figure. So that was the first reveal today, I guess, right? For the Adventure Series was the official.
What's your opinion on them doing world building stuff now, like for Indy, but they won't do it for Black Series?
You mean like with that little piece?
Mm-hmm. This and the other one too that you're probably going to show.
So to me, this is the cheesiest thing that they could have done so early on in the line, because they said that they made it seem like that they were going to do all these world building, build a piece things. This is not a build a piece thing. This is a
one and done.
This is a repack of a figure that they cranked out They don't have anything new that they can do because they can't do any of the real enemies, right? Because of the soldier situation. So they decided, well, we'll just pack up this indie again and throw in like this little thing, and we'll give him like a plastic thing that looks like the bag, so we can pose him in this mode. That
I love it, man. I'm all for it, 100%. This is the best news I've heard all day long. For me,
so
Indiana
wants
Jones
to meet up with GIJOE on Monday.
Scene. I love this scene, the idol, the bag. This is what I want.
Yeah,
this is what I want. Yeah, I'm psyched for this. But I didn't get the first edition.
Are you gonna?
And I know what you're saying.
So if you had this first one, like I do, would you be that interested, or would you be thinking, I'm going to box this up and take it back?
The only reason why I want that one you have in your hand is because I want to build the ark. I don't want any. I want.
That's how they got you.
Yeah. See, I want the ark. I don't really. I want Indy. The monkey's cool. Marion is okay. I don't really care for the head sculpt's not the great, but I do want the melted face guy.
Okay.
I want him, and I want Donovan with the long hair when he drank from the the Grail.
So here is the second reveal, and it is a 2-pack of what's this guy's name in the white suit?
Yeah,
is that
Bullock, right?
They had him in the first wave, dressed in all the elaborate wear.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And then this is, I don't even remember his name.
He's from the first movie, and he's the one that hires him, right?
Yeah. So this is what I think that they should have released in the first wave was this guy here in the suit, because we only saw him in that garb at the very end. But I guess it goes along with the arc piece to have him in that other garb. But this is the one that I'm waiting for, right? And it's unfortunate now. The only way I'm going to get him is in this 2-pack with Indy's buddy.
I think they're both great figures.
Yeah.
But again, I do agree they should have came single packed.
Yeah, Left Coast. Nobody will buy this 2-pack.
I will.
So like, I'm gonna say something. I don't think this whole wave is gonna do as good as they think it is. Like Indiana Jones, it's got a certain audience, but like newer kids have never seen an Indiana Jones for the most part. Like,
none of these are appealing to anybody except for you. I mean, they put them in these boxes where you can't see them, so you have to take them out to make sure they're not broken or missing stuff. And I'm like,
you'll be able to get this whole line super cheap on clearance. Every Indiana Jones thing that comes out, like give it 2 months, they'll be $7 before you know it.
I will tell you though that, like Connor saying he wants this one, and so do I, just because I think these are the 2 additional characters I want. Right.
I think Columbo looks really good.
Yeah, I think it's important to have these 2.
Does he look like Columbo? Remember that TV show, Columbo?
No, because he's not.
He looks like Columbo, man.
Okay, and here we start getting into. Here's Indiana Jones with an open shirt with one sleeve.
100%.
With his hat, right? So this one's pretty good.
That's Dino's, right? That's Dino's weekend outfit.
He's got a
What's that?
I said that's Dino's weekend outfit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is, right? Oh, yeah.
Okay,
this one's a definite buy.
Right. And then you got Short Round, which I think looks awesome.
Yeah, they nailed it.
And I like the fact that he comes with his ball cap, and then he comes with Indy's hat.
Yeah. And the soft goods, soft goods, top, bottom, the top and jacket. Like, I'll pick him up. Like he'll be one I definitely pick up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look at this.
And that's soft goods too, right? You said?
Yeah, both of them, the shirt and the jacket. And then like, that he comes, you could take everything off and he's just like in his regular gear.
Yep. And then he actually has the logo for the New York Giants, right?
But it's just at the end, no Y, right?
Yeah, it's just they had to like tailor it.
It's not the Yankees, but it was who was it? Was it the Giants or who was it back then?
Oh yeah, it might have been New York Giants back in the day. Yeah.
But it would have a Y in the middle of the end, right?
Yeah.
But
so they curtailed the symbol.
Yeah.
But at least he has something, and the fact that he comes with this piece right here, which I'm using my mouse to point at it. You guys can't see my mouse. With the little flaming torch, right? Okay, the New York Mets. he's got the little flaming torch piece. And I mean, that's going to be awesome to get a flaming torch piece in there. So, because that's pretty universal, right? You can use it for all kinds of stuff.
No, he's the best figure that I've seen that they've done so far out of this like whole entire line. Like he looks really awesome.
Can you imagine like getting one of these, and then you can make a little trench coat for the dude, then you can put like a little gadget with like a punching glove or whatever. And then you got the start of a whole Goonies line.
Oh yeah. I'm so happy for that actor.
Yeah. And here's the Indy. Now here's where I think it gets cheesy. So like you're looking at this Indy, he doesn't have a shirt or anything, right? And then you go back and you look at this Indy, man, all they are doing is taking off one additional layer. Yeah. And it's unfortunate they didn't just pack this guy with like two extra arms and then an extra head, and you could have just had like the one figure that would have crossed for both of these.
But or even the other one has the black guy. This one doesn't.
Soft goods with it ripped open like that, you can put it on, put it off, and the hat, like it would have been a no-brainer. But no, they wanted to give you two figures that you can.
With all the articulation, it doesn't look horrible.
No, it doesn't. It's just the fact that like, why would you still have to use the same? You know, like why is this necessary for 12 different versions of Indy when you could do one that's packaged with all of this and just have it be removed?
This one just looks weird to me for some reason.
I think it's cool. I like it. You know, every.
So you're all in so far.
It doesn't mean I'm going to get every figure, but I think that's what I like about it. You don't have to get every figure. If this is the version.
Let's rewind. I'm all in on Indy. I'm getting everything.
I never said I'm getting everything. I said I do want the idol.
I'm in.
Indiana Jones for me. I love the idol. If you watch any of my latest video, I even say the idol is my favorite thing.
Okay.
So I love the skull in this. Is pretty cool.
This is from 3, yeah. Indiana Jones 3.
She looks good. The next slide.
Okay, so this is from the Dial of Destiny. I think they did a pretty good job on the figure. I like overall. Here's the box on it, right?
This is his niece, right? His niece.
So there is
an artifact, a build-a artifact for this.
Yeah, for this wave. Yep. Yeah. So those other ones must be fan channel exclusive if they don't have a build a piece with it.
Yeah, I think that's right.
That's probably what it is. They're probably Pulse exclusives or whatever.
Are you showing the box for the other ones though?
And she comes with this old vintage lamp.
What's the package for short round?
So exciting. What?
What's the package for short round?
Oh, I don't think I have a picture of it.
Because that might have build an artifact in it.
These guys are still talking about the logo on the hat. The New York Giants, Mets, or
I don't remember what it is from the movie. I live right by New York.
Giants,
Mets are orange and blue, or Yankees are blue and white.
So we could tell, right? We're all toy collectors, so sports is not our thing here.
I said New York. I didn't say which.
Okay, let's see the skull thingy. Yeah. So here's the older Indiana Jones, and he also comes with a flashlight, which is kind of cool.
That's the key of this movie.
You can get Force Awakens, Han Solo, Force Awakens.
I have this guy already. The only thing I don't have is the flashlight.
Yeah.
Gosh, I think it looks good.
This is I think the build-a thing.
Okay, that's what it is. I wasn't sure if this was like an accessory, like the platform was, or if this was the build artifact for that other wave. Yeah,
so the Skull Temple build an artifact.
Okay, so that's wave 2's build a piece then. Okay.
And then so here is Indy with the hat, and it makes it look like, because Left Coast was saying one of the Indies comes with a removable hat, but I think Short Round comes with the hat. And this Indy doesn't come with a hat, so they just pictured it like this. But the problem here is I don't think that hat will fit any of the Indy figures.
You don't think so?
No, because what'll happen is to get a hat to fit on a head, they either have to oversize the hat or they have to make the head like narrower up there. And because none of the heads look like the hair's pushed back. You know, when you wear your hat and then you take it off, if you got hair like mine, where it's a little bit longer, it looks smushed, right? So
Flowing.
these figures have like that smush.
But why would you need it to fit his head?
If you want to put it on Indy's head, otherwise it's just going to sit on the top.
If you have an Indy with a figure like the one you have, it already has the hat on it. You just swap the heads. This one's for if he's going to make it look like he's going to put it on.
Okay, you missed part of the conversation. Somebody was saying, I think Left said one of the Indies comes with a removable hat. But what I'm saying
probably not the lug.
Yeah, I'm saying short round comes with a hat.
Yeah.
But it won't fit on an Indie figure.
Vern, you had me at Battle Droids.
But if you get that, it might fit on
full circle.
The CoverGirl figure.
I like this. This is a good hot dog holder.
Yeah. The skull looks really funny to me. It looks like one of these like cups you get in an amusement park or something like that with a slushie in it.
So is that
the old McDonald's like souvenir ones?
Is it going to be like
it looked bigger? Yeah, it looked bigger. It looked like it was
if you
like
really wanted this build artifact, go to Walmart in the tiki cup section. Just get a couple of those.
I think I have one. I think I have a Halloween cup that looks just like this. I'm going to put some hot dogs in it. It'll look perfect.
Hold on.
Just paint it.
If we'd hair like yours, it would be in its box. Yeah. I'm going to put it up after this so it doesn't get all messed up. I'm not impressed with the knee and elbow joints. You and me both.
Yeah.
Indiana
Why
Jones.
did they go that route?
So I haven't bought any of these. Are they very similar to Star Wars, like the way they're done? Like they look like they're like the same plastic, same articulation. Everything.
Way better than the Dungeons and Dragons guys that just feel flimsy. These feel more like the Star Wars. The legs are very similar to how like the Boba Fett legs are and stuff like that, or the suited body legs or whatever.
They have double joints though?
No,
the Black Series Star Wars don't have double joints.
Some of them don't. Like if you look at Boba Fett, like the because he's got the bubbly pants and stuff like that, they don't have. Yeah,
a couple of them have like the double jointed knees and stuff, but nobody's got butterfly joints, unfortunately. Except for that new loop that they saw.
San Francisco Giants, Mets, the old emblem. It's an interesting thing that this conversation is still ongoing, and nobody has went to Google and said, "I just Googled it."
Yeah,
because I don't remember what he actually wears in the movie. If it like what team it is, but the coloring scheme on the hat would be Yankees because it's blue and white. If it was blue and orange, it'd be the Mets. If it was blue and red, it'd be the Giants.
So I put this up there because I wanted to show off the fact that like after all the reveals were done, after the 7 Indiana Jones reveals came out today, it was shown that they had 4 Indiana Jones figures were part of the reveals.
I couldn't be happier. I'm getting 3 of these 4.
Which I think
I am getting 3 of these 4, man.
Yeah, okay.
I'm more excited about these than any of the Star Wars reveals.
Well, we're not done with Star Wars yet because they had a whole
Team Indy. Who's on board? Come in the chat.
They had an entire live stream presentation that they did today, and then when it was all said and done, they decided to show off
from Rebels
series, which I think is hilarious that they put this guy.
They didn't do it during the stream because it's a GameStop exclusive. That's why they were like, we don't want to announce any exclusives.
No, I think that's probably what it is. And then let's see.
And then this is a shot Disney Parks exclusive.
One more here. This will make Left Coast super happy.
Doc Ondar from Galaxy's Edge.
Let's see. Hold on.
So then
he comes with
figures good, but they're Black Series size, so don't really fit with the Legends or Classified. The hat will be Hasbro Australia exclusive only. Yep.
This is awesome. It comes with both holocrons. It comes with a bunch of pieces from like his shop around his neck. Awesome looking figure. And I'm sure everybody will be trying to buy multiples of these to make more to make other
Yeah.
hammerheads for their background and stuff like
I
that.
wonder if
It's
the
really
clothes
cool.
are removable, like you have an
Yeah,
actual body.
it's soft goods, so yeah, there should be something underneath at least. And if they were smart, all that it is just the tank top and the pants underneath, and you could literally take the robe off and just have a regular hammerhead walking around. That would be cool.
And then put that on a
is
retro
not
card.
interested in that mall.
It is. I don't. Oh, I'm not sure if these are on retro cards or not. They didn't show what the mall and this are packaged like.
But if they made this, if they used the body the same thing as Hammerhead, and just took the clothes off and put it on a retro card,
yeah, that would be perfect. Yep.
that would be
If they
killer.
were, if they thought about that and know like how many people have wanted hammerheads for so long, you would think that's as soon as you take that robe off, it's got the tank top and the khaki pants. Like
Yeah.
that would be a no brainer to do, because then like, oh, here's literally another figure. We're just removing stuff off of it.
But I don't know, would they do that? Would they make it that simple? Because some people might not purchase the newer one because it's the same figures inside there.
Yeah, that's true. But like, we've never gotten a hammerhead yet in Black Series, so I'm sure people are thinking the same thing. Hey, I'll buy it. I'll take the robe off of it and use it as a regular hammer.
It'll be a Luke Skywalker body.
Yeah.
Because they got old Landos. They got plenty of Landos. They're going to just use the Lando body.
Yeah.
Let's see,
I'm happy with that mall though. That the Old Master Mall. That's from Star Wars Rebels, and he looks really good. They did give him his lightsabers in like a walking stick when he's older. So like they gave him the removable walking stick piece.
Oh, that's cool.
Left Coast is saying
he's going to use
Obi-Wan? Hammerhead. We'll take care of that.
Yeah, the mall is a gaming grade, so the mall is a GameStop exclusive. The Hammerhead is Galaxy's Edge.
Yeah.
So is that the Old Man Mall when he fought Obi-Wan?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, that's cool. the Rebels version. And so we're gonna all need it's not a video game crap, it's from Rebels. But we're gonna need Vern's brother to go pick us up some Hammerheads. I'll be placing an order. I need two.
Texted me yesterday about these Tron figures and was like, "Are these the ones you're looking for?" I was like, "Yeah." Then he's like, what? "Oh, this is how much they are." Oh.
How much are they?
So the light cycle with the figure is 70, and the individual figures were 25 a piece.
Are they 6-inch?
No, they're the Super 7, the little 4-inch figures.
Oh, okay.
They did have some bigger ones, but I mean, like, I'll show you. Let's see.
Are they more posable, or are they like the vintage, or like the Super 7, just 5 points of articulation?
Oh, those are cool.
They're kind of cool though.
They're like retro style.
I have the original. Do you want me to show you? Yeah, those are cool.
Yeah, I've never seen either one, the old version or like the remake.
I think it's
so they had this.
Overrated.
They had this. This is those. Looks like the bigger ones.
That's cool. Right?
But they're in a box that looks like a video game.
Yeah, that's a cool box.
Yeah, and then they had helmets from the newer movie.
That's cool.
Are those the soldiers? The helmets?
Yeah, from the newer film.
Yeah, they weren't the Tron people, right?
And then here's the newer film, Legacy.
Yeah,
figures, and those look like they're 6 inches. And then I watched somebody's video where they were showing off the backpack, and I guess the backpack has like a disc that goes on and it like lights up and everything.
Ooh, cool. Do you have any of the vintage figures?
No. Do you want to send me?
I know somebody that does.
Do you want to send me any?
I have 2 original figures, and I have 2 of the retro remakes that I forget who put them out.
Have you guys ever seen this show called Between Two Ferns? It's Zach Galifianakis, and he like interviews people, but he's like, the way he interviews them, he tells like Keanu Reeves. Have you ever heard of this thing called acting?
I thought it was between two Verns, not Ferns.
No, but he always likes to. He always does this thing.
That's like, next week's segment.
Between two Ferns, two Verns.
How's bragging camp going for you?
It's going pretty good. Speaking of bragging camp, look at that.
That's Clash of the Titans.
Yeah.
Hey, do you mind sharing what you got that for?
No, my wife might be watching. I actually trade. I'll tell you what I traded for it.
Okay.
I won't tell you how much he actually. So I traded about 100 and I think 140 Funko Pops. I traded a blue Snaggletooth vintage.
Okay.
I traded a vintage Scareglow.
Okay.
And a little bit of cash. And some wrestling figures.
A little bit. Okay.
A little bit. Just a little bit.
Well, Funko Pops are $10 a piece.
Funko Pops, the Funko Pops alone.
But I will tell you, I know why you were able to trade those off is because your son was a big Funko Pop collector, and then one day he said, "Let's box all these up." So you were like, "Oh, well, we're done with this collection, so let's turn it into something that we want." And I think that when you're talking about collecting, that's the greatest thing is like when you have stuff, if you've enjoyed it for a while, but you want something else to enjoy in your collection, then you just turn part of your collection over to get something in.
For me, the Kraken was always an unreachable toy because the price was so high. I would never spend that kind of money cash for a toy like that, even though I'd want it. I wouldn't be able to. I don't have that kind of money to be throwing for one toy.
Right.
But if there's toys I had, like I've had the blue Snaggletooth in my collection since like I think even before the Power of the Force 2 came
out.
And
I still don't have one. Can't seem to get one at a reasonable price.
So I've had it for over, probably close to 30 years.
I know that's the one you wouldn't trade me.
Well,
I'm just saying. Just saying. I never asked, but you never offered.
So I'm happy to let things go. And what felt good is when they posted it on the store, posted it on their Facebook page. I read one of the comments. Somebody said, "Let's make a deal. I want that blue Snaggletooth." So that made me feel good that somebody else is going to be able to get that into hit their collection.
Okay, great.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think that's really cool.
I love Deep Horse's comment. I didn't know. I actually owe my son about $100. I told him I'll give him $100 for because I think only 30 of the Funko Pops or 35 of the Funko Pops were my son's. The rest were actually mine. They were all ad icons that I collected. So I told my son I'll give him $100 for the.
I think you should have just never said anything, and then when he went looking for him, or said, "What Funko Pops? You boxed those up and gave them away, remember?"
My wife made me tell
him. Well, we're at over 2 hours, and I know Vern said he just wanted to do 2 hours and be out. So before,
those pickups took a long time. I mean, not the pickups, but the reveals took a long time. But
I'll do pickups real quick.
So what do you guys think about the movie news for Star Wars? We got 3 new movies coming. One in the sky, set 15 years after the Skywalker saga. One at the beginning of the entire Jedi Order, and then a Mando movie.
Okay, so I'm gonna tell you that I'm not thinking about them until I see them go into production.
Okay,
because
that's reasonable.
At this point, they could just say cancel it. I feel like they've done that already. They've announced stuff and they're not following through. So there's no sense in like me getting all excited about like some film. I think the only one that may actually make it to production is possibly this Mando thing.
See, I think the Daisy Ridley one's a lock too, because they went out of their way to make that happen. So like, I think that's going to be the first one going into production. My guess would be to hit that 2025 release date.
Is that going to be a trilogy?
I hope not. I hope it's just. I hope they have the wherewithal to know, like, they were smart enough to skip ahead 15 years. I'll give them that benefit of the doubt. I don't like the sequels. I'm not a big fan of them, but I don't hate the character of Rey, if that makes sense. Like, I don't blame her for the shitty movies that they made. But they had the wherewithal to skip 15 years ahead. They can kind of softly reboot it, if that makes sense. Like, they could make you forget about what happened in those other 3 movies and just kind of tell
I'm not gonna forget. I'm not gonna forget.
No, I know a lot of people aren't.
Cross
Like,
fighting in those was just over the top fantastic, especially that Last Jedi film.
you know what I'm saying, though. Like,
I enjoyed the Last Jedi.
20% hate those movies. So I'm saying, like, to those people that they found a way to a happy medium.
Yeah.
The best part of the Last Jedi was the casino. That was my favorite part of
the when they escaped off of a ship that was in a slow speed space chase without anybody noticing, for them to distance up. Okay, this is the parallel that I'm having with Star Wars, right? Okay, so
they don't want to waste their gas.
They're in their Last Jedi. They're in pursuit, right? And then they escape and they go to some casino planet for a while, and then they come back. Then last week, not this last week, but the week before on The Mandalorian, Navarro is under imminent attack, and the city's being destroyed by these pirates, and these pirates are like firing down on the city. But we got plenty of time for Carson Teva to fly over to Coruscant, have a nice conversation in the office, then fly off and find the Mandalorians, right? And I'm like, I mean, there was no expediency in that whole mission set.
I know, right?
You know what I mean? And then by the time the Mandos got there, it seemed like they just got attacked like earlier that day. So all of that had to have taken place within a couple of hours, but it didn't seem like it took place in a couple of hours.
Or even a couple of days. Like that was a process, because by the time the Mandos got there, the whole town was destroyed already. So like the pirates had been there for a little, kicking it for a couple of days before they got there.
So as much as you guys complained about like this week's episode, you didn't hear me complain about last week's episode of The Mandalorian, but that was my biggest problem with the last week's episode was I feel like they have no concept of time.
Yeah.
Because
the whole show's moved a couple of years now and nobody even realizes it. Like Grogu was with Luke now for 2 years in Book of Boba Fett. And then
those guys were still searching the city when the Mandalorians dropped down. Like they were still going through the city, like they were clearing it. And I'm like, they should have all been at the bar, like drinking by themselves. You know what I mean?
And meanwhile, out at the lava flats, there's literally like 25 people, but you had a whole city full of people before in the opening. I get the discrepancies with it. Yeah.
I agree with the urgency in a lot of those series is like people take their time to go talk to somebody. They'll stop and have a drink and it's like, dude, that planet's under attack right now. You run down the streets to talk.
I would have liked Carson Teva to like gear up one of his pilot buddies and say, can you go to Coruscant and talk to this guy about getting some backup? I'm going to head over there. And
that's what I would have loved to see them be Rogue Squadron, like that whole crew, all them, like that would be cool.
And then maybe on his way, he's like, wait a minute, I'm getting this transponder ping from this R5 that I know that Mando has. Let me stop by and see if he wants to join us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think
did you guys watch?
I think the New Republic stuff will be towards the end. Like I think that's when it'll be all hands on deck for the battle at Mandalore.
I hope so.
Because I think we're going to see Boba. I think we're going to see them show up as well, and them all be like the backup for whatever's happening.
Let's see. The writer of Andor mentioned something about Favreau transitioning out. Star Destroyers have hundreds of ties, but only send 6. Because they got to keep the rest of them in reserve. Favreau will replace Kathleen Kennedy after the Rey movie.
Apparently, the rumor was that Kathleen Kennedy and Favreau had a falling out.
So Tim Meadows fits into Star Wars, but Jack Black doesn't. This is where so all you guys that are like current episode Mando haters at this point, I only got one thing to say. I didn't make this much noise last week.
Can I say one?
Tim Meadows was fantastic though in his role.
You guys are just upset that there was like a super exciting, fun episode of The Mandalorian to watch this week.
Like I said to you, it's not that it's a bad episode. It's a good episode. It just isn't for what was going on in the season. It shouldn't
I
have
don't
took
think
place.
we should be having fun like that. I don't think these episodes should be fun. It should be a little bit more serious. Star Wars
I think we can have
isn't
fun,
about fun.
It's a happy medium in time and place.
Do you think that they should do like a Star Wars show, but do it like a documentary, like a 48 hours or something, where they like take themselves completely serious and there's like a investigative reporter like investigating on something. Like there was this like they could do a whole episode about the robbery that Andor pulled off, but in a 48 hours type special. You know what I mean? Where like they're interviewing all the guys that were at the little vault.
I think the Richard Pryor Cantina episode was a little bit better than this one. So can I ask you something? Waze, did you see the celebration today?
Mm-hmm.
What is it with Anthony Daniels, that guy that was interviewing him? They had
they've had this has been an ongoing bit for years between them. They're very good friends off screen. The kid who's the host like looks up to Anthony Daniels and has told him that personally, but they have a back and forth thing that they've been doing for the past couple celebrations. So that's why he treats Anthony Daniels like shit, and Anthony Daniels fires back at him, and they go back and forth. But in real life, they are very, very good friends. And Anthony, he told the story today about how C-3PO influenced his life and was a special part of his life. So like that, they're really good, close friends in real life.
I wasn't sure if Anthony Daniels is actually known for being so.
It's a bit between the two of them. So like Anthony Daniels always has this air about him that he's very pompous, even though he's like the nicest guy you could ever speak. So like he it's almost like in a joking way where like I'm better than you, and then they go back and forth with one another. Yeah,
but it's really not the case.
No, it's been a back and forth thing. I think for like the past 3 celebrations now that they've done it like as a bit.
I just felt uncomfortable with it. I didn't like it.
I tell you what, I felt a little uncomfortable when they carted Billy D. Williams out there. Like they literally had to have somebody walk him shoulder to shoulder out onto the stage, and like.
Oh, I didn't see that.
You could tell that he's not in great health. In the Return of the Jedi panel, like he just kind of, him talking, the things he was, you could just kind of tell that like he's getting up there. I think he said he turned 6 this week. So I mean, you could just 86. Or something 86. Like that, he said. Yeah, Gerard put it in one of the group chats that how old he turned, but you could see it. It was just like, I don't think he's probably the person you should be trotting across the stage. Like maybe you should have just left him where he was and done the interview from there. Like, you know what I mean? It was just like one of those things where like, oh, I hope he doesn't fall. Like, please don't let him fall.
Yeah.
But he still's got like the wit to him. Like she asked him a question about something, and he was like, "You want me to tell you about the time I lived in New York City with one of the most prominent madams?"
Really?
You know what? They're saying Lando was 86 yesterday.
Yeah, he said in the panel today that his birthday was this week. So yeah.
Did they ask him anything about his action figure?
No, they asked him though what it was like to put a bow on Lando in Rise of Skywalker, and he had this weird look on his face where like he looked at the guy and like, I didn't, like I just came back for it. That was it.
All right, I did put a poll up. Somebody asked for a poll, so I said, who is the best guest in The Mandalorian? The choices were Tim Meadows, Jack Black, and Lizzo, and it's currently out of 8 votes. You got Tim Meadows in the lead with 62%, but Jack Black is close behind with 38%. If I could vote, I'd push Jack Black up a little bit. I'm surprised that Lizzo is getting like nothing in that poll.
Can we have a vote for if there should be a Vern's, what is it, Vern's 2? 2 of Vern's? What was the name of that show? 2 of Vern's?
I could do like a show like that where like
do an alternate of Vern's.
I don't know if I honestly don't know if I'm like that quick-witted
to go back and forth with yourself.
Oh,
That would be funny, man. Have like two
Yeah.
different cameras right there.
That
would be that would be hilarious. A hilarious Vern rant, like one Vern saying one thing and one Vern saying another.
I don't know if you notice that, like a lot of times when I do that, I always try to like give like a middle of the road opinion about stuff, like because it's not really so much that like this.
It's become a bit now at this point. It's become, you know, it's like what's good about it.
Yeah, that plastic free packaging, like using that as an example, it's not that wasn't never that big of a deal to me, but I can see how like people who like to keep their stuff in package, it was really a way to just
you hit it on the nail on the head when you did that video, because I was like, that's exactly, see, for me as a collector and with you know, if you have OCD a bit and you have a package that all looks like this, and then all of a sudden they turn all packaging to look like this, and then you have a bump in the road, now it's back to this. So
yeah,
I understand if they can keep the sides, at least it'll be uniform. But when they change, if they change it a bit, it just it would make me want to stop collecting that. Particularly
changing the box shape is really the thing that like made me go, that is the weirdest thing. Now those pictures on the side look pretty cool, but they could have easily put those pictures on a flat side.
Yeah, it didn't have to be angled. It's angled though, so if it's on a shelf, it's all angled in like one direction down the shelf. That's what they
but really only shows one figure.
Just like GI Joe. GI Joe, you can have them all straight and they all show. You know what I mean? It's not different.
Yeah, but if you have it angled like that, you have to angle all the figures like this on your shelf, so you're losing
a little bit of space.
You know what I mean? And space is huge in a collection.
Yeah. And then the other two things.
Speaking of pickups, Vern, I know we're showing real pickups. So
are we?
I picked up
we don't do that.
Set.
We don't do that here, Dino.
I picked up this cool Popeye set.
Let's see. The angled side boxes are a pain. Yes, I would read. They are. I was confused for a second. I did just stop the poll, and Tim Meadows won by landslide. Nobody was interested in that poll, by the way. I'm looking at that picture again. I thumbed over to another screen, and that Darth Vader really does look like Bill Murray.
Hey, Vern, speaking of Clash of the Titans, I know we were on that topic for a little while.
I know you're going to find me a sword and send it to me.
You're going to see something even cooler than a sword. So check this out. So I showed you I picked these guys up, right?
Well, you tried earlier, but I wasn't paying attention.
Who's the hero? Who's the true hero of that movie?
What do you mean, the owl?
Right. Boom. I have a vintage style owl to go with this collection I just picked up. Have you ever seen the owl?
It's not even from the original collection. It's just some reproduction thing that somebody thought needed to be part of the collection.
It is only the coolest thing ever made. You don't need to put me on full screen or anything, Vern.
Okay.
I will, Ben.
Thanks for letting me know.
On an arm.
I pretty much already knew that because I'm controlling all the controls.
Is that not the coolest thing?
You're right. It's not.
What's that from? Do you know?
What?
Okay, let's take a closer look at it because it does not look gold and it does not look metallic.
It is gold, man.
Now, what is that? What's that from?
Titans. It is the owl from the movie Clash of the Titans.
The original movie one?
Yep. Well, yeah, the original.
It's a reproduction figure to go along with the original figures because they didn't have an owl.
Okay.
They didn't produce
now, what year? What year are we talking with those released?
Look at what Jonathan has to say. The owl should be gold.
He is.
He's not. He looks dark brown.
He's gold. He's gold. It doesn't show up on this camera, but he's gold. The front is silver, and the wing.
If gold doesn't show up on your camera, then I think you're going to need a new camera.
I spent the money on this owl. I can't get a new camera. And he comes with clips on the legs, so he can fit on the arm of a figure.
Yeah,
That's cool.
That's really new tech.
I need a Morai like that for Ahsoka. She never comes with the bird.
Fake gold.
That is the coolest thing, man.
That is
Fake
cool.
gold.
Fake gold.
And then the other two things they showed at Celebration were the Acolyte and Skeleton Crew.
I saw the bootleg trailer of the Acolyte. It looked okay, but it's the one I saw cut off, like it didn't finish.
Yeah, cut off. It wasn't the full entire thing.
I think the guy was filming, and then somebody was walking around, and he goes,
So they put his phone down real quick. It looks cool though. Like I was fully honest in my review of it. When I heard all the rumors for Acolyte, I wasn't that crazy about like what they were talking about, what they were saying. But seeing the footage and seeing the accurate information now, like because a lot of that information that leaked wasn't. They got the actors right, but they didn't get the roles right or who was playing who. But seeing it now, we're getting a lot of Jedi action in that. That looks awesome.
Yeah,
and then
Ahsoka
Skeleton Crew. Yeah, Ahsoka looked fantastic. And then, but you could tell that a lot of it's still unfinished. Like there's a lot of special effects that were still undone in the trailer. They were just kind of like, there's like when you look at the World Between Worlds, there's still a light that wasn't removed out of the background of it.
In the Book of Boba Fett, when the guy drives over to the telephone booth, there's a building that's not even completed, and they haven't fixed that yet either. Oh,
you've gone back and looked.
I have, because I mean, I'm thinking like, when are they going to go cover it up or whatever? But you can still see all the 2x4s on the backside of that building.
There's one shot in the Ahsoka trailer, but like when her and Balin, so the two new characters that we saw in the Ahsoka trailer are Balin and Shin, and they're basically fallen Jedi and his apprentice. Supposedly, Ray Stevenson is a Jedi that survived Order 66, and
Jude Law's cool. Like some sort of a Jedi, right?
Apparently, that's what I was hearing. That like Jude Law's apparently a Jedi.
I think Captain Marvel's going to have to come in and beat him up or something like that because
he's really a Skrull. But the pirate vein from Mando is going to be the one that carries over the Skeleton Crew. That's what they were saying.
All right, let's see. Mr. B is saying, Dino, you need to come to his targets and rough up the management to get some decent figures.
We actually have a pretty good rep that comes in and restocks weekly at my Target.
We have a pretty good NECA rep at my Targets too. He hasn't bothered showing up in like 4 months, so they just deliveries from NECA. So the only thing up there is something from like
they're all in the back. They're all in the back. It's just that Target can't stock it. They have to have their rep.
The Target guys have started refusing deliveries from the NECA. Because
the guys have way too much out back.
So anyways, Dino, what do you got coming up this week?
I do have a video possibly coming out on this guy that everyone seems to love. The brown owl. Actually gold. No.
Hey, if you do a video on that, can you do?
You got to paint it gold.
Where the little owl is sitting on a tree, and Perseus walks up and says, "How many licks does it take to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop drop?"
I love it. I'll do a short on that. That's a great idea. So I actually have a video I want to do. I'd like to do a comparison on the indie figures because I have the original. So if anybody wants to see,
so when you're going to show those two and you're going to compare those two together, you're going to say this guy doesn't have a shirt, this guy does, and jacket and overcoat.
I'm not going to go high into articulation. So, but just in case anybody wants to see if the original looks
with the original new one, with the originals.
Okay. And then I want to put it on, make a scene. I want to put it all together, but I'm going to use my Well of Souls as the final scene. And I do want to get another. So I have one I'm going to keep on card of this guy.
Okay.
Another I have. I'm going to open it one, the same as Bullock, and I want to get a third. so I can customize and make them so they're like melting phase, and then the other guy's on fire, like the end scene. So I want to customize, because for $11, that'll be a pretty fun customized figure.
So you're gonna take one and melt it with a lighter.
I think a lighter would probably discolor it, so maybe a heat gun.
Oh yeah, that's not gonna completely just melt the thing in 2 seconds.
Melt all. It'll be ice cream.
A heat gun might work, or if I used, how about a soldering iron? Do you think I could go up to it and kind of melt the face with the soldering iron?
Yeah, you gotta just be really careful about how I would think the temperature of it. If you can control the temperature of the soldering gun, maybe.
Yeah.
But what I might,
$11, it's worth.
oh, you know what you could try? Get a paper clip and heat the paper clip with like one of those little lighters, and then use the hot metal paper clip, because it won't be super hot and it'll start cooling down to just kind of like maybe put the straight. Maybe that will work.
That'll be a cool idea. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that'll be on the next.
And then as soon as you get done, they're gonna release a melted face version of it.
I'll be all over that.
That's how it always goes.
That's happened to Vern many times, right?
That is wave 2.
It happens to us all the time. We create a custom and we spend all this time, finding the parts and making it. We finally finish it, and then next reveal, oh, here's the figure you've been waiting for. It's like,
these guys are just watching our videos. That's why.
Yeah. I just finished Mara Jade. 2 days later, Mara Jade was announced. I just did the Gregor the other day, and now there's a plain white one. Like,
so you got a video out right now with a whole breakdown of
day 1, and I got another one that I have to do today with the full breakdown of day 2 and all the news. We got confirmation that Lars Mikkelsen, my guy, is back playing Thrawn finally, so that's going to be awesome. That's going to be really cool.
Well, I appreciate you guys coming.
And then I gotta finish this behind me. I finally got it built, and now I gotta put on my figures and get everything situated. So.
Nice. Are you going to get rid of this brown shelf and replace it with something else?
Which one? The one next to me here? No, I'm going to be moving. So all my Star Wars figures are on that currently. They're all going to be moved over to the Calyx. And then I have like a bunch of other stuff that'll be on. I have another brown bookshelf on the other side of the Calyx too. So there'll be like my Marvel display, my G.I. Joes, and some other stuff. Yeah.
So what does Lepko say? Thrawn looks so bad in a bad way?
He saw some.
He was complaining about the Ahsoka series looking low budget. He said it looked more low budget.
Well, they showed somebody from the back that everybody thinks is Thrawn, right?
Yeah,
it was
that's
Thrawn. Yeah, and then today they showed the front on image of him.
Oh, so it is him. Okay. So I'll have to go look and see, because it's just a guy.
Yeah, because today they actually announced Lars Mikkelsen, who voiced him during Rebels, is going to be playing him in live action. So his brother was Galen Erso in Rogue One, and now he's coming into the Star Wars universe to play Thrawn in live action.
All right. So
Vern, what do you have coming up?
Me, I have nothing. Oh, I'm going to do this Cover Girl review and show you guys how I broke the arm.
Did you get all of them, or did you just get Cover Girl?
Just Cover Girl.
Yeah, that's all I picked up too. I let Falcon and Outback go to. I'll get them on clearance if they hit clearance.
All right. I just want to remind everybody. Hey, Waze, thanks for coming in, and Dino, thanks for coming in.
Thanks for having me all the time.
Thanks, man.
Dino also had this fitness channel, but I just want to remind everybody:
do new toys and bodybuilding go together? Nope.
Anyways, I want to thank everybody in the chat for coming out and hanging out with us. It was a lot of fun, and we'll see you guys next week on the Toy Duo.
He's an action figure poser, which means posing action figures is his specialty. SeanSolo8 and it's Vern from OakhurstStudios, who is a master at complaining about pretty much
Thanks, guys,
everything.
for joining. Thanks, Vern.